She's on a mission. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Months after the shooting at a Trump, Pennsylvania rally and a thwarted assassination attempt at a golf course in Florida, the acting head of the Secret Service says he wants to earn back public trust, testifying at the final hearing of a House task force that got heated at times.
Were you the special agent in charge? To show respect.
Sparks fly between Congressman Pat Fallon and acting Secret Service Director Mike Rowe. Rowe testifying about changes the agency has made since the assassination attempts on President-elect Trump.
Let me be clear. There will be accountability, and that accountability is occurring.
Rowe tells committee members the agency has started using new forms of technology, such as autonomous canines that have sensors at Mar-a-Lago.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. Other changes include mandating a unified command in a single location at protective sites. A seventh note from the jury deliberating the New York manslaughter case against Daniel Penny, charged in the death of Jordan Neely after a chokehold on a subway last year. The jury asking the judge to reread the definition of recklessness and negligence, to read it more than once, and to also give them the definitions in writing. They're in day 3 of deliberations. A federal probe launched after last year's traffic stop killing of Tyree Nichols in Memphis finds that the city's police routinely use unwarranted force and disproportionately target black people.
The police department must end unlawful stops, searches, and arrests without reasonable suspicion or probable cause to believe the people they stop have contraband, or are dangerous, or are a flight risk.
Assistant U.S. Attorney General Kristen Clark, as the DOJ pushes for an agreement in writing, the Memphis mayor says hundreds of changes have already been made. America is listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The official 97.1 FM Talk Weather Center forecast. Sunny, cold afternoon. The high today 27. Clear to partly cloudy. It'll be cold tonight, low 19. Sunshine, a few clouds tomorrow. The high up to 41. And then sunny, warmer day on Saturday. The high at 55. Some sun and clouds. A mild day on Sunday. The high for Sunday afternoon, 59. I'm Steve Williams for 97.1 FM Talk.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Should GLP-1 weight loss medication like Wegovy and Zepbound cost hundreds of dollars? We don't think so. TryLifeMD.com helps provide insurance access to the leading GLP-1 medications. Visit TryLifeMD.com to get your free insurance benefits check and see your eligibility in minutes. Listen to Tara's story after losing 42 pounds.
You just take your shot. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. What I wasn't expecting it to do was to shut off the food noise. I'd gone from 237 to 195. This was life-altering, and if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
Get started right now with your free insurance benefits check and see your eligibility for coverage in minutes at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
Running a small business takes endurance, determination, and the right support to reach your goals. And MasterCard is here to help fuel that journey in a fast-paced digital world. With innovative tools and resources, we're here to guide businesses every step of the way digitally. Because when small business wins, everyone wins. Let's power up our communities one small business and one step at a time. Keeping the community running strong, priceless.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Mother's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. We have Ox Car Care for their extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if anything happens. We have no worries if any problems come up on our holiday travels. Ox Car Care has our back.
I remember. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Yep, we don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them directly, and there's no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated, with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Right. They handled our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill this holiday. The only thing now is, which pie is Aunt Martha making?
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-296-3315. 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
Count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA-20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Valid offer for a limited time, only at participating dealers while supplies last.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. Appreciate you being with us this afternoon. The manhunt continues for this CEO of the United Healthcare Company. Was gunned down within feet of walking out of his hotel to go across the street in New York City yesterday. And this gunman shoots him down. And the more we talk about this, this is the most movie-like murder I think I remember witnessing. All of this happening the way it's happening right now, it doesn't seem like we're talking about somebody's dad. This guy has 2 children in high school. And people are like really keying in from a conversation standpoint on the fact that, insurance denies a lot of people's claims. And I'm just thinking, it's 20 days until Christmas. And this guy has lost his life at the hands of an assassin, whether he is like the James Bond kind of super skilled and qualified hitman. Everybody's an expert on this right now, by the way, I might add. Everybody's go ahead, Ryan. You're taking a pass on this?
Yeah, this is the one area where I am not an expert.
I have seen so many people who have the qualifications to be experts come to unequivocal conclusions that completely disagree with other people who are completely qualified. So I don't know I am not going to solve this murder in St. Louis. We got our own murders here that we do or don't solve in the city of St. Louis. But I'm just thinking of the complete and total ease with which we take stories like this. And it's very sad. It's a sad thing to see this happen yesterday. And then, this is a man who is a father and a husband. And I don't know the details behind the story. I don't know anything about this guy other than the fact that he's the CEO of an insurance company, a major insurance company. But I am not like, we don't have an alternative, but I'm not really okay with the idea that a man could be gunned down, a father could be gunned down, a husband could be gunned down on a 2 or 3 day business trip to New York City. And within hours, you can see exactly how it happened. And now we're talking about words that are written on the shell casings and everything like it's some murder mystery. It's so, this, for whatever reason, maybe it's humanity. This is very sad.
It's wild. I went home last night and got the chance finally to sit down and actually talk to my wife. You know how life goes where you're like, oh, I'm going to go this place this night. Well, I finally talked to her. I said, did you see this story about this? She hadn't. And she looked it up and she said, oh my gosh, the CEO for United Healthcare was just assassinated. And the first thing I thought when I saw the story, the day before, and that she thought was, well, this guy had to be an older guy. Nope.
No, he's 50.
I said, honey, this guy was our age.
Yes.
Almost.
Your age.
Well, not quite. I didn't know. I actually didn't know he was 50. I thought he was younger than that.
He's 50.
But just based on the age of his kids, I mean, that's a very young guy. So I think that's another just weird part of this story is that he was such a young man to be a CEO of a major healthcare company.
I just looked. I have United Healthcare. I didn't know that.
I thought I did.
I know that we just had enrollment. You all, very likely just had your enrollment, and you go through and you see how everything's getting more expensive and so on and so forth. But who likes healthcare? Who likes the healthcare system?
Nobody.
No one.
You probably have to be on the inside benefiting in a way that doesn't really have anything to do with healthcare in order to prefer the way that this is going. But we don't see things like this. And one of the experts that I saw on Fox News, I'm going to pull up the article here so I can give you the actual name of it from foxnews.com. And we see him regularly commenting on Fox News. He's a former NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor, Paul Morrow. The way the video shows this hit taking place, this guy walks out of the hotel. This guy slips out from between vehicles or whatever. He's got a hood on. He doesn't even have a significant disguise. He's got his face covered. And he pulls up a gun, which looks like it has a silencer on it. Or maybe it's a gun that was from World War II, starting blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter to me. And he just sticks his hand out, shoots him a few times, turns around, walks away, gets on a bike. I mean, this looks like it's from Blue Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
Or CSI Miami or New York or whatever it is. It's like, this looks different than what we traditionally consume when it comes to crime and murder and violence. And the thing of it is that we consume so much of it. This is, to me, it's like this is just a story. And really, it's a human life. I want to follow the story and see what ends up happening. I think we also get to the point where, as people who consume news, you're formulating all of these very dramatic storylines in your head while you're waiting for the actual details to come out. And then when the details aren't as dramatic or salacious as they might have been hyped up to be, you lose interest. We do this with hurricanes. The lead up to a hurricane, everybody is chattering on their fingernails and freaking out. And then the hurricane comes and people are like, oh, that wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be. That's a bad thing. It's kind of a bizarre study of human nature to watch these stories develop and see how the masses consume the stories and what draws people in and what doesn't. The Daniel Penny trial, we could have a verdict be read on this in our show. It could be this week. I don't know how long they'll deliberate. I would assume that the longer they deliberate, the better for Daniel Penny, because, one of the things that is important, if you've never served on a jury, I've gone to jury duty, but I've never been selected for one. And the one that I actually kind of got a little bit further into was a criminal trial. So it's I would love to see the process there, but I guess I'll be careful what I wish for. You have to, beyond a reasonable doubt, prove that what the defendant is being alleged to have done, that you believe that's what happened beyond any reasonable doubt. So it's not like you have to know that they didn't do it. You have to be proof positive sure that they did in order to convict somebody. In New York City right now, what a pivotal moment. I talked about this yesterday with Harris Faulkner. Being from St. Louis, where I would really say that the anti-police sentiment really got its legs out of the Ferguson situation here in 2014, we have for 10 years been anti-police, pro-criminal, completely confused as to what an actual victim looks like, and so cowardly in our willingness to confront any of it. Everybody has been quiet for so long with cowardice to not look at someone like Daniel Penny and the body of work that his life is, to see the situation that was going on that subway car, to know what he did. And, if I don't know if they asked Daniel Penny this or if he's ever addressed this, would he do what he did again if he were in that position? If his daughter were sitting in that car with him, would he do that again? If my child, even if my adult child is sitting on that car and somebody's acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs like Neely was acting, where's law enforcement? We've told law enforcement to sit down and to understand the plight of the people who might be in mental duress and, oh yes, under the influence of drugs, that we give them spaces to do those drugs now. I mean, you're getting what you've asked for societally, culturally today, and it obviously doesn't work. Daniel Penny should not be in a position to have to not invoke justice, but invoke calm and stability and peace. Because none of the people on that subway car had that in that moment. They had fear. And that fear was being put upon them intentionally by somebody who was under the influence of K2, which is like a super hyped up, what is it? It's not ketamine. Is it ketamine?
Might be.
It's like a super dose. I think it's like a super dose of marijuana or something like that. I know not of what I speak. Under the influence, I believe schizophrenic, and he's on there saying that he doesn't care what happens to him, and he's threatening people around him. You've got a guy who serves in the military who steps in and neutralizes a situation, and he's on trial right now in New York City. I sure hope they get this one right. This is kind of a bellwether for the years to come. When you are walking through the streets of St. Louis, do you want more pennies or do you want more Neelys? Or do you want more local government common sense and more police officers, more people in uniform to walk around these streets that make you feel safe? People don't feel safe. And we've played Mayor Adams' comments about the illegal immigrant problem that takes place in New York City. We played the Chicago conversations of people asking Brandon Johnson, why are you taking our tax dollars and using them to protect illegal immigrants who are sucking us dry here where people don't have what they need, and you're still taxing the hell out of them in Chicago. It's like the greatest tax burden that exists in the country, Chicago, Illinois. Donald Trump couldn't come at a better time because what these people need is they need backup. They need to know that when you go and you serve justice, that they're going to have the backup for you. Remember when the Michael Brown situation happened here with Darren Wilson and everybody learned about Ferguson? And what was it? Eric Holder and Obama's Justice Department came in and checked everything out.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that Darren Wilson didn't need to be charged with anything. They left. People don't know that. People don't care about that. And that was 10 years ago. And I'm wondering if the arc of this obscene lack of common sense and lack of courage, maybe that arc is about a 10-year arc. Maybe we're about to get back to normal. Wouldn't you like to know, as your kids are coming of age, Ryan, that wherever they go, that they're going to be in a safer United States of America?
Heck yeah. I mean, this is what Common Sense America just decided. Everybody got together and said, you know what? I may not even, the middle voters especially, I may not even be a Republican. I don't know about conservatism. In fact, Trump, kind of a weird guy. I don't know if I like that. But I know one thing. I know that I want to be safe. I know that this immigration problem is much bigger than they're making it out to be. And I know that the economy is not what I want it to be, even though they're telling me that it's fine. So Common Sense America really just won about a month ago.
And how much have you felt the obligation in this amount of time to take measures to protect yourself?
More than ever.
What is it, like 3 minutes before, from the time you call 911, like the average is 3 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
But if you call 911, you see these posts online, if you call 911 in the city of St. Louis, you could walk to the police department faster than you're going to get a hold of somebody.
It's so terrible. That's supposed to be your first, that's why it's 911. You don't have to remember a whole lot of numbers. It's easy to call.
But people don't answer. I had a dear friend of mine get into an accident, and this was maybe in the last year and a half or so. They got into an accident. It was a definite need to call the police type of an accident. It was by, I think, Children's Hospital. And they texted me or called me to say, do you know another way to get a hold of the police in the city of St. Louis? Because they had been trying to get through 911 for 45 minutes. They had cars stalled in the middle of a major intersection. And they were at, like, by the time you're calling me and asking me if I can get to the police, you've exhausted your other options.
Yeah.
I am not at the top of the list. And no, I don't have the ability to summon the St. Louis police. I know people who are members of the St. Louis police, and I messaged one of them, and they're like, you just got to keep calling.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, that is a description. I hate saying this because I don't want to be like Chicken Little all the time. But that is a description of, like, crumbling society.
Absolutely.
Failed state.
Yes. It's not safe. It's not a situation where you're going to send your family members out. You're not going to establish a business under these conditions. You're not going to patronize the businesses that have been there and have been amidst the ruins the entire time. That's not the way you grow a culture and society. It is the way it deteriorates. It's a great point. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Hogan Gidley is going to join us. He's America First Policy Institute's Senior Advisor for Communications. And he is very, very strongly saying that pardon for Hunter Biden, that's not just for Hunter Biden. He says it's for Joe. And he's going to talk to us about that when we come back. I'm asking you on the YouTube live chat poll, will Joe Biden pardon himself? That's never been done before, and everybody thought the first man to pardon himself as president would be Donald Trump. Maybe Joe Biden will beat him to the punch. You think he will? Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Lutheran education is a great gift at any time of year to give to your child, to your grandchild, to make sure that they have the ability to learn in a safe environment, in an environment that prioritizes learning and the basic core subjects and keeping the focus squarely on where the children need to be. You can trust them when you turn them over into that environment that's going to be a Lutheran environment, but also one that welcomes people of many walks of faith. Lots of people who are not Lutheran do attend Lutheran schools, and they are absolutely welcome there. I want you to consider visiting their website to learn more about how it can make it absolutely affordable and accessible to you or to your grandchildren. LESA.STL.org/Annie. It's Lisa with an E. LisaSTL.org/Annie. Go there and find out about the scholarships that are available. Go and find out about the 37 elementary schools in the Missouri and Illinois area that are available to you. It is within your reach. You just have to peek behind the curtain. You've put it off because you were worried you couldn't afford it, or you worried it wasn't doable for you. Oh my gosh, it's so much more accessible than you think. They have the extracurriculars, they have the STEM education, they have the ability to work with your IEPs and circumstances that you need for your child. Give them that opportunity. Lisa with an E, LESASTL.org/Annie.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and I live in the Fenton area, and I love that I have the largest locally owned sporting goods store right here where I live, Denny Dennis Sporting Goods. Their selection of hunting, fishing, firearms, and ammo is huge. Whether it's for you right now or for the outdoors person on your Christmas shopping list, check out Denny Dennis Sporting Goods in Fenton. Their prices and customer service will not be beat. Denny Dennis, where family traditions begin. I even bought my daughter a fishing rod recently, and memories are made forever. Denny Dennis on Gravois at the Merrimack River, Fenton, Missouri.
Ho, ho, ho! This is Santa, and I'm going to be in the Defiance Christmas Festival Parade Saturday, December 7th. Food trucks open at 9 a.m. At 10 a.m., kids' activities, including a bounce house, along with live music from Clover and the Dashing Through Defiance 5K. Sign up at runsignup.com. Parade starts at noon right through downtown Defiance. Please, no Santa costumes. The kids come to see me. Following the parade, pictures with me, Santa, and a beer tent with live music at 1:30. No coolers in the park. That's Saturday, December 7th. Come and see me in Defiance. Ho, ho, ho!
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
It's time to start thinking about your holiday parties right now. Mark Cox here for my friend Grill Master Tony. His schedule's starting to fill up. Make your parties easier and tastier with Grill Master Tony. You can choose from his brisket, pulled pork, or chicken. Choose from sides like roasted potatoes, bourbon barbecue baked beans, French bread from Pizza Italian Baking on the Hill. But get your orders in early. Get your orders in now. Just go online to grillmastertony.com.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, and now is the time to do something about it. With Neoviten Women's Multivitamin, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Created by a St. Louis physician, Neoviten Women's Multivitamin is formulated with our proprietary blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Best of all, you can get Neoviten Women's Multivitamin delivered right to your door with our convenient monthly subscription. Go to neoviten.com and sign up for a subscription today.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Give the gift of comfort this holiday season with routine HVAC service included in a preferred partner plan starting at only $19 a month. To gift comfort year-round, visit aircomfortservice.com.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
The snow's coming down. I'm watching it fall. Lots of people around.
President Biden sparked a wave of bipartisan backlash this week, announcing the sweeping pardon of his son Hunter. But according to new Politico reporting, it may not be the only pardon that Biden grants. Jonathan Martin reports this. President Joe Biden's senior aides are conducting a vigorous internal debate over whether to issue preemptive pardons to a range of current and former public officials who could be targeted with President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House.
Well, CNN is talking about Donald Trump potentially pardoning his enemies. And it's kind of interesting to me that Donald Trump was just resoundingly elected in what I don't think anybody could have seen coming, an enormous political comeback. So the people who are in opposition to Donald Trump, there's a reason why America said we choose Trump to stop the type of people who are currently in office from doing the things that they're doing. Why would Joe Biden think that those, air quotes, enemies, that what they're doing would be worthy of a pardon? Seems kind of strange to me, doesn't it? Hogan Gidley joins us once again, America First Policy Institute Senior Advisor for Communications. Hogan, welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's good to have you here.
Great to be with you. I appreciate the time, Annie.
You as well, as always. The Hunter Biden pardon that came down this weekend, it wasn't just like, he's my son and I love him and he did these two wrong things. It was much, much broader than that. Why do you think that is?
It was broader because in large part, this is not a pardon for Hunter Biden. It's a pardon for Joe Biden. He's concerned about anything and everything that comes out regarding a Hunter Biden trial that would implicate the Biden crime family. So he doesn't want any part of that being exposed. Look, I understand. A lot of people are saying, look, if you were going to pardon your son, pardon your son. That's part of the deal. The problem is Joe Biden lied about this repeatedly on camera to different reporters, saying he would never do this. He got his lackeys in the press to agree. They parroted everything he said. They covered for him. They carried his water per usual. And then he even made the press secretary go out there and say the same thing. Now, she has no credibility if she had any before. He definitely doesn't have any credibility as if he didn't have any before. And the whole thing is imploding on itself. And now there's a question over pardons. And I do love the fact that when Donald Trump was issuing pardons to people that actually served jail time, who actually paid debts to society, the left lost its collective mind. But when Joe Biden goes out there and pardons his own son, who hasn't served a day in jail for the crimes he clearly committed and admitted to, It's farcical. Now, I will say, what's fascinating is that Joe Biden came into office lying about the Hunter Biden laptop being fake. He's leaving office by pardoning Hunter Biden for all the things that were on the laptop. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the laptop because it has been a detail, a footnote, unfortunately, in the entire administration of Joe Biden. But what we know from that laptop, what the laptop has corroborated, when we see people like Tony Bobolinsky coming out and talking about Biden Inc. and what the brand was that was being sold on behalf of the American people through Joe Biden. There's a lot more there than a gun charge in Delaware and some tax evasion that he had somebody else pay off. Do you think it's likely that we'll see Joe Biden pardon other people who might be attached to Hunter, maybe even so much as including himself?
Proactively, he could do that. There's some reports out there about all types of people, whether it be Dr. Fauci or others. And you have to ask yourself, is that an admission of guilt, or is it something he's trying to protect himself against? Regardless, James Comer and the folks over at the House did an outstanding job exposing the shell companies, for example, the millions of dollars the family receives, the emails, the text messages, the dinner dates, the lunch drop-bys, the phone calls in the middle of the night, showing the relationship between Hunter and Joe was more than just a father-son, but it was also a business relationship. And I think Joe Biden, rightfully so, is worried about that. His legacy is clearly tarnished, not just because they ran him out of office, ran him off the ticket, rather, for his horrible debate performance, but also the fact that they've been lying about his health for so long. In addition to that, the corruption that has followed this Biden family for a long time. I don't think we'll know the full scale of it for years to come, but it's so obvious to so many, and I think the House has done a good job exposing it. So these pardons could definitely be a preemptive move to prevent any future attacks, I guess, by the right or by lawyers who see all the wrongs that Joe Biden and his family have done.
We're speaking with Hogan Gidley. He is America First Policy Institute Senior Advisor for Communications. I think that the America First Policy Institute is an important part of this whole conversation because we're watching during the transition, what the Biden administration, those actions that they're taking right now, handing out money in Africa while the president of the United States falls asleep, pardoning people in his own family, broadly so. But in the midst of all of that, we've actually, in my opinion, heard way less from the Trump transition team than we're used to hearing, of course, of him on the campaign trail. And to me, it's really looked like there's a definite plan in place for this period of time so that on day one, Donald Trump is able to start doing what the American people sent him to do. How would you assess post-election in this transition time what the Trump administration has been able to do so far?
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up because what they are focused on is the American people. They obviously have a mandate. They won the popular vote. They won all the swing states. They're focused on successes. Donald Trump did this the first time around. He's going to do this the second time around as well. And the fact that they're putting out these cabinet secretaries immediately tells you what they are focused on is getting the people in place right now so that when he is sworn in, he can begin moving. Remember, the 100-day window starts pretty quick. He won't be a lame duck because no title like lame duck is ever going to apply to Donald Trump. He's always going to keep moving. But he wants the House, the Senate, and his cabinet secretaries to move forward on that America First agenda quickly, especially because you'll have the midterms coming up and you want to flex a little muscle and show Republican governance, Republican legislative activity is far superior to that of the Democrats because it actually improves the lives of all Americans.
Yeah, leading up to this point, it's promises made, and then this next 2 years is the opportunity to show the American people promises kept. AFPI has been a very, very great partner in setting up this opportunity for Trump to come in, to be able to make this transition and do it in a very orderly fashion. Do you believe that on day one, Donald Trump is it going to come fast and furious for all of us sitting here watching to see what he's going to do?
Yes, I was on set with some reporters the other day. We were arguing about something on a panel, and they made a comment there was breaking news that Donald Trump had just announced a new secretary of something or other. And I pointed out, you better get used to saying breaking news as relates to Donald Trump because he moves at breakneck speed, not to mention the fact you guys have been sitting on your hands for 4 years, not doing any type of reporting or any type of movements because Joe Biden was so slow I said, you've had your rest for 4 years. Get ready because the next 4 are going to be fast.
Yeah. Every time I see Hogan Gidley on one of those other networks, I always pause because I'm like, this is going to be a treat. So we always appreciate when you come on with us as well. Hogan.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. It's always great to speak with you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Hogan Gidley, America First Policy Institute Senior Advisor for Communications. He's also the former National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign in 2020. He served as the former Principal Deputy Press Secretary for the Trump administration. He's a straight shooter, and he's been coming on our show since Donald Trump was the president the first time. So it's always great to be able to squeeze him back in. We were supposed to have him on yesterday, but the timing didn't work out. What do you want to see first? I mean, first of all, what are we going to do for the inauguration? Isn't that going to happen in our show?
Yes, but it's on MLK Day. So
we'll be here.
I think
I'll be here.
We're gonna have to
fight me, Steve and Trisha. I'm gonna be here.
We get the day,
you don't even have to open up the microphone. I'm gonna sit here and talk to this room.
No, that's exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Like, how could we have the day off as a company, but how could we miss that day? So I imagine we're gonna be following that because it's gonna be. Man, do you remember watching the inauguration in 2016?
Yes.
I do too.
And 2020.
I did not watch. I mean, I didn't work here in 2016. I was in an office place with people who, some of them I knew their politics, others I didn't. So you're sitting there watching in this historic event, and I thought at the time, naively, that Trump was going to start saying things that were like normal presidential things during that inauguration. He did not.
No, he did Trump.
He said, here's what we're going to do. And he said the same exact thing as when he was campaigning.
When Donald, that was a key moment, like a very pivotal moment. I can think of 2 moments in his presidency early on that were very definitive. That was one of them when he didn't come on and give the bologna sausage Joe Biden unity speech.
Yes.
Which was horse hockey.
Yeah, it was.
He didn't give that speech. Donald Trump won the election. And everybody was waiting for him to start being, what was the word? Presidential. And Donald Trump, I am presidential Donald Trump. Welcome to this new version of doing it. The second time he did it was the State of the Union. I have goosebumps thinking about the first State of the Union.
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh, I do. I don't even think it was technically called a State of the Union because it's a joint congressional something. Because
it's an address.
You can't be elected and then 2 weeks be like, here's the State of the Union.
Right.
You're like, I've been telling you about the State of the Union for 2 years, and that's why I just got here.
Right.
But he handled that presidentially. His first actual State of the Union, when he went in there, it was wonderful. It was so great to watch and see and know that he was in charge. The inauguration, the swearing-in ceremony is at 11 p.m. 11 a.m. our time, noon Eastern. Get them in here right now. I need to know. I need to know because at 11, like is he going to give us? If I were him, I would be like, I'm going to give a speech, but I'm going to do it later because I got stuff to do. Thank you for sending me here. I am here for you, and I'm going to go work for you right now. The executive orders that are going to be lined up for him to sign are going to be many of the same ones that Joe Biden signed on day one, but like the reverse.
Yeah.
They'll be doing the cha-cha slide the whole time. They're putting America on the right track.
I mean, yeah, that's not going to be good radio.
To the right now, y'all.
Here,
Charlie Brown. Charlie Kirk.
The difference is,
Can we change the cha-cha slide to be something conservative?
No, we can't. I'm sorry.
It's a
in my
crime against
contract.
humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But the difference
I'm gonna
between
do that for the rest of the show.
2016
Just so you know.
is that in 2016 we didn't know. This year we know what we're getting into. We still voted for the guy overwhelmingly. But the thing is this year, if you notice, we haven't really heard from Donald Trump that much since he got elected.
I just said that to Hogan Gidley.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was walking over here and I didn't have my headphones on.
No, I made that.
I walked out
I
and
asked
walked
that
back
question
in.
of Hogan Gidley because the America First Policy Institute Heritage Foundation as well. Project 2025. It's okay, Libs. It'll be fine. Everybody quiet down. It'll be okay. Snuggle
Charlie
your
Brown.
blanket. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say Charlie Kirk. They won't like that.
When you look at how quiet they're being, and I was talking to Hogan Gidley about that, America First Policy Institute has been telling us this for 4 years. If and when Donald Trump gets back into office, we've got everything ready day one. We've got the people ready. We've got the policies ready. We've got the executive orders written up already. It's all done. Now, does Donald Trump come in and have a say in that? He has all of the say in that. But if you continue to listen to the people who come on the show and talk about how Donald Trump operates, especially when it comes to foreign policy issues, like we spoke with Jim Carafano on Tuesday, and we're talking about what's going on in the Middle East, Donald Trump surrounds himself with people who don't agree on things, and he listens to them. And then he makes a decision, which is what a wise man does. Put the smartest people in the room on any particular issue, surround me with them, and I will use, in my wisdom, the opportunity to provide the greatest conglomerate of a decision with all information source and all perspectives considered. That's type of stuff has been done. And he's got to just get everything in place now, which is stuff that they did after they got inaugurated last time. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be amazing.
That's typically what a leader, a president, a good prime minister would do, is they come in and they have lots of advisors. That's why you have so many people around you. They advise on very, very important things. And then the leader got elected because he has a vision, and he goes, well, how do we achieve that via your advice?
Yeah.
It is also the exact opposite of what Joe Biden has been, and actually what most Democrats have been. Because if you notice, Democrats, it's a machine running everything. Mm-hmm. They haven't had a primary since 2008, if you think about it, because they just rigged every single one of them to get the candidate that they wanted. So with Joe Biden in particular, you have a candidate or a president who was just doing what the machine set up for him to do. Not just because of Alzheimer's, but because that's what, that's what the Democrat machine does.
It's okay, Dr. Wiggins. That's what I've done here. Is I've surrounded myself with the smartest people in the room, and I listen to what you guys have to say and go from there. What was your lane?
Just to clarify.
Medical expertise?
I'm not a medical doctor.
Which is the second day in a row this show has had to say that. But yesterday it was like, if your mind is telling you you're fat and it's Zumba and you can't breathe, I said keep going, but not as medical advice.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad it was you yesterday.
Yeah, it was. I am no doctor. Let's take a quick break. Wiggins America, we come back. We are going to find out, here's your lane, ways to cheap out on Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. That's Wiggins America today. If you're looking to cheap out on Christmas, I got you covered.
Oh, or at least half covered. Half off or half on?
That depends on optimist or pessimist.
How you look at it. Wiggins America next. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
CassinsCan.com. That's the website, CassinsCan.com. That is where you go right now if you are in the midst of a search for vehicles, or if you're kind of like, I wonder what the deals are right now. Go to Cassins & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer. Oh, I love the Wagoneers. One day, Annie. One day. You are going to be in the best hands. Working at Cassins, they're going to treat you well. They're going to guide you through the process and do a lot of listening. Sometimes it feels like when you get into one of these sales situations, they're doing a lot of telling and a lot of pushing. Nope. Not at Cassins. When they are sitting there talking to you, or if you're in the parking lot and you just have questions, they're not going to be pushy. They're not going to be, overly aggressive and make you feel uncomfortable. They want to guide you through this purchase that you are going to have to make eventually, or maybe in a quick manner. They want you to feel comfortable so that you come back again. They care deeply about that. The financing you can get there, the service, the maintenance, all of it. We do all of it at Cassins for my family, and I encourage you to give them the opportunity to earn your business as well. Cassins & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer is in Glen Carbon, about a mile north on 159, right off of 270. Easy to get to from anywhere in Illinois, and also hop on 270 in Missouri. Come see us on the east side, and they make a stop at Cassins. 618-800-2712, 618-800-2712, CassinsCan.com.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too. To help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose. Paid for by Bayer.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2025 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Mark Lindsay, former lead singer of Paul Revere and the Raiders, the Vogues, and the Cowsills. August 21st, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Clint Black in concert. Clint Black, an incredible night featuring some of his greatest hits. Saturday, April 12th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. Clint Black in concert. Special guests Ruby Lee and Emily Ann Roberts. On sale Friday, 10 a.m. at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Clint Black.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Will Joe Biden pardon himself? Yes or no? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. You find it by going to YouTube and typing in Annie Fry. Today's date will come up as well as this live stream, and that's where you vote. 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Trump presidency is coming into focus. Keep it here for every twist and turn, because the updates are happening fast. 97.1 FM Talk. The vision and strategy for 2025 is here. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you, and you said you had to get your laundry clean. Didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
Wiggins! I know why you're here. It's because you want to save money on Christmas.
That's the only reason to listen to this show.
When people tune into the Annie Fry Show, they're like, how do I save money on Christmas?
Some people are trying to save money when they go to Macy's. We're trying to save money for the country.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And when we talk, that's what we're doing.
Nice.
I could tell you were midstream and you didn't know whether to go back to shore where you came from or try to keep swimming.
Don't worry about it. I was on my horse.
You
I
drowned.
sacrificed the horse.
No,
the horse went downstream.
I'm going to say this out loud.
You drowned.
No. I'm going to say this out loud so it doesn't happen, but I need to sneeze. So at some point in time during this segment, it's like the word of the day. When I sneeze,
if you
call.
sneeze, I will not.
We call her 6.
I will absolutely stop and point it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to try to not make it public.
This is called Ways to Cheap Out on Christmas. The first one.
This is called. Is this like a dissertation?
It can be.
We need some we need a music bed or something on here.
No, not at all.
Can you do it as Ryan Shire Wigglesworth?
Nope. First one, cut back on your list. This seems like an obvious place to start.
Buy less.
Stop buying so much. This is from cheapism.com.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, yesterday's was too.
Have you, how much percentage of Christmas shopping you've done so far?
80.
Ethan?
I would say close to 80 as well.
Brad?
Probably like 20.
Brad has no idea because his
No,
wife does
20.
it all.
No, I've shopped for my wife and that's it.
That's the only person I haven't shopped for.
Is it more difficult?
Yes, she has everything.
She has you.
Well, no, I wasn't even meaning that. No, I was meaning more like she grew up spoiled.
Careful.
Oh,
careful.
whoa,
Careful.
whoa.
No, she.
I love my wife.
Yes, you do. You better say that at least 3 more times on the show. Have you noticed in your shopping that, like, good grief, financially?
Yes.
I have definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been like this for a couple years. So in a sense, I'm like, oh, here we are again.
I feel it worse this year than I've ever felt it before.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I think I bought more throughout the year this year. That's always something I do, and that's actually on the list. Shop throughout the year, because when you
Very
see
helpful now.
things,
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You can shop throughout the rest of this year.
Mhm.
That's one great piece of advice. When you see something throughout the year that you think, oh, somebody I know would love that, you just grab it and you just hang on to it. The hard part is hanging on to it for that long and remembering that you have it.
Amy says to Ethan that you should get your wife a puppy.
I would love this. She is actually the one that is anti-get a dog at this point.
Well, if you were Ryan, you'd get her a puppy and tell her it's for her, but it's really for you.
Yeah. Well,
is that
I don't
fair?
think she would accept it.
No, because I actually am the one who's the most resistant to getting a puppy. I would love the puppy eventually.
I'm speaking like metaphorically, that if you could get a gift and give it to somebody else, but really benefit the most from it yourself, it wouldn't stop you.
Oh, absolutely. My son's got a peanut allergy. He's getting a massive peanut butter cup for Christmas.
Because they're your fave?
Like, oh, man, I guess I could eat that.
This is from Dad.
Yeah, you know what I have, right? The next one on the list, speaking of which, you could bring a massive peanut butter cup to this. Have a potluck. If you're hosting Christmas, you don't have to make everything from scratch. You can ask people to make things and bring them over to your house. Do you guys do this?
We don't turn down when people offer to bring stuff.
Is that Is this normal for? Because I feel like that's a pretty normal thing for Thanksgiving for people to bring something over.
Absolutely.
Is that normal for Christmas as well?
That's why I'm asking, because I don't know.
I think it really depends on tradition.
Depends on the family. One side of my family does sandwiches for Christmas. My grandma's side. It's always been a
kind of
thing.
sandwiches?
Just like puts out a meat tray, cheese, and bread, and everybody makes sandwiches.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
And I don't know why I always loved that. It was like I didn't eat. Here's why. Because I put so much meat on those sandwiches that they were like the best sandwich I would eat all year. My wife's family, though, they do hors d'oeuvres and appetizers, which is also
What
very
kind
fun.
of hors d'oeuvres?
Oh, calamari.
Can of peas.
Can of peas. Little smokies.
Anything you want to say about your wife? Take Ethan off the hook here a little bit.
Oh no, my
Don't
wife's great.
do it. She's the best.
Yeah, my wife's
speak
great.
poorly about
She
your
did
wife
not,
also?
Yeah, she did not grow up spoiled.
Wait
She
a
grew up
second.
dirt poor.
Don't tell us like where you. Don't tell us where your wife is right now. But is your wife in a position to listen to the show?
Yes.
Does she?
Good question.
You don't know?
I don't think she does.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what's really happening here. She is monitoring. This is what women would do. They don't want you to think that they're on here. They want you to speak freely.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to be monitoring.
Well, I tell her all the time that she grew up spoiled.
Yeah.
It's almost a running joke now.
Yeah. But I'm just going to say,
if
like,
she is listening, it's definitely her recognizing the running joke is continuing.
my husband, well, the three of us are all married to teachers, so we get away with a lot more when school's in session than
Yes,
in the
we do.
summer. We have to really straighten it up. But they have prep periods. I have to look out for my best friend, Mrs. Wiggins, though, because she doesn't listen nor care.
She really doesn't listen to the show a whole lot. I think because she knows that I say things that are right on the line of acceptable.
She can't do anything
in front of our kids. Like they're borderline inappropriate all the time, and she's like, I don't know if I want to expose the kids to that.
Well, and she also can't do anything about it. So I would feel like I need to just pretend like I have nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you approach my wife and you say something you heard on the show, she's always like, oh, really? Really?
Oh, anyway.
Okay. I remember that. Man, that happened at a marriage conference once, and that was weird. The next one is...
Seems like there's more
So
we
out
could
of
unpack
nowhere.
there.
Nope.
Stick around for the 2 o'clock hour, and once again, you'll see how much I've prepared for the show.
Use newspaper for gift wrap. Now,
Like Trump won.
the
You know, it's not lost on me that the St. Louis Post-Dispatch just stopped printing a bunch of paper copies.
Yeah, they did.
Very timely.
They did. The problem with this as a cheap person myself, is that you still have to go buy a newspaper. And newspapers aren't real cheap to buy anymore.
Take them out of the trash.
Would you argue that you are a cheap connoisseur?
Yeah. I would.
Oh, yes, he is.
I'm not arguing it. It just is. Here's the ultimate cop-out. If you want to save
Before
money.
you say this, have you done this?
I mean, everybody does this.
Oh.
It's just if you're going to use this as an excuse to save money.
Regift?
No. I just saying this. I just want to spend time with people.
That's the most quality gift that I could be.
Exactly. If you say that out loud to the people around you in lieu of gifts, you have achieved something I'm not capable of.
Do any of you miss your family? Like when you get to be our age and you're kind of the sandwich generation, you've got your parents, maybe still your grandparents, and you probably have kids in the mix as well. Do you negotiate among your peer group, the people who are your age, like here's what we should do or here's what we should not do, here's a budget? Like do you work out those terms or people just do what they do?
No, because I don't have enough people in my peer group that are doing that. I would, and I think
like siblings and
I
stuff.
guess it's just me and my brother. So I guess he and I do have that
Do you
discussion.
give gifts?
Yeah, we do. So I guess we have that discussion.
Do you pre-qualify a budget or do you just do what you do?
We kind of do what we do, but we also know what the budget is ahead of time. We don't speak it.
like
but
unwritten?
Yeah, it's kind of there. We know it already.
This is the code.
$15,
Yeah.
$17?
For me, it's $15.
For him?
For him, it's about $75, $80.
What do you guys do?
We negotiate.
Is it a hard negotiation?
I want you to
No,
spend
not
55
really.
on me this
You
year.
should hire Ryan to come negotiate for you.
We basically say this is what we're going to spend on your kids because we don't have kids of ourselves, and
But not necessarily kids.
Oh,
Because
like each other?
With each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you give
like
gifts?
My wife's brother and his wife, we make donations to charities in each other's names is what we do, and we negotiate. We kind of talk about it. It's like, all right, we want to hit this dollar amount, so that's
I
what
could
we
save
do.
you that money. I could take your siblings into what I call the Christmas room. It's got one hot light. Get a negotiation going.
Sounds like the beginning of a crime.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Come here, kiddo.
One light. Come on over
Merry
here.
Christmas, little boy.
Seems like you're giving a lot of money to charity and a lot of other people's names.
Do you have more tips?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more. Let's talk to Tyrus and Deroy Murdock in the next hour. Don't go away.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process
process ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The jury wanted it in writing. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. On day 3 of deliberations in the subway chokehold case against Daniel Penny for the death of Jordan Neely on a New York City subway, jurors asking the judge earlier today to reread the definitions of recklessness and negligence and to give them a written copy.
They also asked to review more video evidence in this case, specifically the 1-minute clip captured by Yvette Rosario. She testified that she was so nervous of Neely's threats on the subway last year, she put her face in her friend's chest, telling jurors earlier in the trial, quote, "I just wanted the doors to open so I could get away."
Fox's CB Cotton. Prosecutors say Penny went too far in his restraint of Neely. The defense argues Penny saved others and that prosecutors have not proven the chokehold was a direct cause of death. A federal judge just rejecting a plea deal for Boeing in a conspiracy case stemming from 2 crashes that killed more than 300 people. The company accused of misleading federal regulators who approved pilot training requirements for the 737 MAX jet. Families of crash victims have been pushing for a public trial and prosecution of former company officials. Boeing is facing the conspiracy case after the Justice Department said the company violated terms of a previous settlement. The acting head of the Secret Service says they're reorganizing and reimagining how the agency operates after 2 Trump assassination attempts, calling the deadly shooting at a Pennsylvania rally an abject failure that underscored critical gaps.
Following July 13th, we made a request to the Department of Defense for increased air mobility support.
One of the multiple changes in resources and rules already made, says Acting Director Ronald Rowe, who's pledging to earn back public trust. Just getting word of an earthquake in California, a magnitude around 6 in the Cobb region, that's northwest of Sacramento. There are no reports yet of any injuries or damage. America is listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The official 97.1 FM Talk Weather Center forecast. Sunny, cold afternoon. The high today 27. Clear to partly cloudy. It'll be cold tonight, low 19. Sunshine, a few clouds tomorrow. The high up to 41. And then sunny, warmer day on Saturday. The high at 55. Some sun and clouds. A mild day on Sunday. The high for Sunday afternoon, 59. I'm Steve Williams for 97.1 FM Talk.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. You find them online at igotfloored.com. If you're shopping for flooring, you need to make sure that Michael's Flooring Outlet, a St. Louis owned and operated family business, gets the opportunity to earn your business. They have the top quality line of flooring that you're looking for. They have a wide variety of price points in quality of flooring that you're looking for, but they also care about value. They know, just like what we were just talking about, that you are out there working your tail off for your hard-earned dollar and everything costs more. They're going to make sure that when you shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet for your Techwood Plus hardwood flooring, your carpeting, your Mohawk Smart Strand line of carpeting, whatever it is you're looking for, that you're going to see value and quality present in the same transaction. Isn't that important? And harder to get. When you shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet, they have 3 locations in the St. Louis area for you to come in and see the different products, touch them, feel them, walk on them, see exactly how it's going to be laid out in your home. But you can go online, request an estimate right now at igotfloored.com.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with True Hold, Sell and Stay Leaseback Program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to True Hold while the value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay in your home as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And True Hold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. True Hold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a True Hold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-1993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust. Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers. 314-336-1991. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Thank you for making the Mark Cox Morning Show's Responder Rescue ATF raffle a tremendous success this year.
$23,100 for Responder Rescue.
Thanks for being here with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Gosh, I feel like that break went really fast.
Me too. It was too fast. I just wanted to hang out with you guys off air.
Thanks, Ryan. Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range, and myself here, Annie Fry in studio. We're appreciative of you spending some time with us. I just looked at the clip sheet. Do you see what the clip sheet says? Thursday, November 21st.
Oh, man.
Oh, really?
I looked at that, and I, for a second, was like, what?
The show sheet's right. The show sheet's right.
Yeah, the show sheet's right.
Wait,
No, that's
today's
fine.
the 5th, so this is exactly 1 month since the election.
Today is a month.
Yeah.
And we are 46 days from Donald Trump taking the oath of office. And oh my gosh, I can't wait for that to happen. One of the number one things I think people are curious about, there are so many different, every time you look into a different category of what a new administration can do, it becomes almost equally or even more excited than the last category you looked at. But the idea of actually cutting government spending is so foreign to what we're used to seeing our government do. It's going to be Marco Rubio's problem as the Secretary of State. We have to go visit this new land of Doge. We just saw Speaker Johnson took the podium and talked to the press about meeting with Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Let's listen to what he said about his Doge
Republicans
meeting.
have been invited, and I think many of them will gather for this discussion. So there won't be a lot of detail for the press today, and that's by design, because this is a brainstorming session. It is the first, again, as I said, of a long series of meetings that will be held as we're laying the groundwork for the new year and the new Congress. And you're going to see a lot of change around here and in Washington and the way things are run. We need to make government more efficient. And that is what this whole objective is. It's what the Doge effort will be about. And you're going to see a bicameral cooperation, and it will be, by the way, bipartisan. Over the last 24 or 48 hours, you've seen a number of our Democrat colleagues, both in the Senate and the House, who have said, you know what, sign me up. I want to be a part of this as well. So we welcome that. It should be a bipartisan effort. And I think we're going to do great things for the country. So I guess I'll take one or two questions. But
that you will find $2 trillion in cuts without cutting programs like Medicaid, Social Security. Do you have confidence that you can find cuts to that level, or will this meeting be an opportunity to level set to a more realistic number? And second question, do you support clawing back federal funds that the Biden administration is pushing out in these final days, including to companies like Rivian, a competitor of Tesla?
Let me answer these questions in reverse order. We're very frustrated by what the Biden administration appears to be doing right now, and that is, as you said, shoveling money. As someone said on a hidden camera on a clip that I saw, someone in the administration who's charged with distributing the funds said it's like we're dumping gold bars off the Titanic here at the end. We take over in January, and until then, the big government Democrats are still in charge, and they're spending money, in our view, recklessly. And so, yes, we've had a lot of discussions over the last couple of days about what our authority would be to claw some of that back and to stop it. It's a serious challenge, and we need to stop it and expose what's happening. That's what this effort will be about going forward. There is an enormous amount of waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, and I think everyone knows that intuitively. And so the efforts here, both with our subcommittees that are being created here and with the DOJ effort itself, will be to explore that, to investigate it, and lay it bare for the American people to see. I think that's how we'll begin to bring about the change that we all need. So this is an ongoing effort. Yes?
Mr. Speaker, some labor unions are already fighting back. They've already signed contracts to try and get this, that they could be able to work from home, things like that. Your reaction to that?
Well, there was a report that came out today. I don't know if you all have seen it, but someone did a little survey of how many federal employees are actually working in the office. By one estimate, it may be about 1% if you don't count the security personnel that are covering these buildings. That is absurd, and it's not something the American people will stand for. And so one of the first things that I think you'll see is a demand from the new administration and from all of us in Congress that federal workers return to their desks and get back to the work that they're supposed to be doing. I think that is common sense. What you're going to see here, the overriding theme here, is a return to common sense and a return to accountability and efficiency in government. I think that's going to serve the people well. There'll be a lot more to tell you all in the days ahead. Thanks for being here.
So the Speaker of the House walking away from the podium there and giving the update about what he expects to have happen and really saying, like, I'm not going to give you a whole lot of details right now, but the conversations have begun while they're waiting for the administration to come in. Listen to what he told Martha McCallum.
Musk wants to take government agencies from 428 to 99. Can it be done?
We certainly hope so. We want to be willing partners in that. And we have a new ability to do this now. Remember, the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine, right? That's a game-changing kind of situation. Not in my lifetime, but we had the opportunity to go in and really take back control from the administrative state. For a long time, they've been acting as judge, jury, and executioner on the rules that they make on industries and small business owners and the rest. So we have the ingredients, we have the conditions right now to actually be able to make really dramatic change.
428 to 99 agencies.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is huge. Huge.
I always think to myself, like, are they going to cut all of the spending and then find places they want to spend it instead? We have to cut and stop.
Yes.
Maybe rebuild the military.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do the basic functions that a government should do. Everything he said, especially in that first little press conference, everything he said is stuff that shouldn't be Republican. That should be
American
government. That should be the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yet we've gotten to this partisan place where now you're seeing, oddly, comments, bipartisan, I'll give them that, from the left saying, well, yes, we probably do need to cut back on some of these government things, but I don't think these are the guys to do it. Let's rewind to where you said, yes, we do need to cut the government. At least we're there.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about that. That's cutting it by 75%. That's insane. Can you do that? And here's where I'm there are people who rely on government subsidy who need that to live. And there are people who have been made comfortable in their living on government subsidy that need to not be made so comfortable as to the goal never being to get off of the government subsidy. But there are absolutely people, like if you think about Social Security and Medicare, these are promises that have been made to people, and they're in the midst of living in a lifestyle that relies on that. You can't pull that rug out from underneath them because there's nowhere for them to land and fall, and that's the promise that has been made to them. But how much of our society right now, how much of this can get ripped out of government, federal government spending, and we never even notice?
Oh, that's what's going to be amazing is once it happens, people are going to go, oh.
How many agencies can they pull out of the system before we go, oh, I guess I'm going to have to XYZ now? And then how many times do you hear about them writing checks with your money to outrageous things?
Administration requested to attach to upcoming CR additional aid to Ukraine, $24 billion. Are you planning to do that? What is your position?
I'm not planning to do that. There are developments by the hour in Ukraine. I think, as we predicted, and as I said to all of you weeks before the election, if Donald Trump is elected, it will change the dynamic of the Russian war on Ukraine. And we're seeing that happen. So it is not the place of Joe Biden to make that decision now. We have a newly elected president, and we're going to wait and take the new commander-in-chief's direction on all of that. So I don't expect any Ukraine funding to come up now.
I'm always majorly amused by the pundits, especially from the left, who are freaking out over our lack of support for Ukraine when we're like, but what if we ended the war?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Then the money doesn't need to go. What if we got Putin to say, I see it differently now, or I feel satisfied at this point? What if Donald Trump comes in and, according to what Jim Carafano had to say, makes it so painful for Vladimir Putin, likely in economic measures, makes it too painful for him to continue on this way? What if he's able to go rally Europe to get behind him and say, no, we're not going to permit this. We're going to stand up against this, whether it's an economic sanction type of a thing. And Ukraine doesn't need bombs anymore in this capacity. Problem at least temporarily solved.
It's amazing to hear some of the media and maybe leftist influencers. The light bulb goes off. They go, wait a minute. There doesn't have to be. I thought government spending was the only solution to everything. Maybe we could cut off the reason to spend at all. It's like they don't really know what to do with it. And they go, well, then you hate Ukraine.
Where do you want to? Is there a place, like, I'm trying to think of, like, where do I want to see spending cut the most? It's not so much like one specific place, but the DEI thing. Guys, how much money are we spending? How much money of your dollars is being invested in making sure that people don't hire too many white men? Your tax dollars are going to places that have in the past limited your ability to access the benefit of those tax dollars because of this color of your skin or your gender.
Yeah, that's racism.
It is.
That is a major one. The thing is, it's almost like that's more of a different philosophy that just pervades everything, because that whole ideology is in all of these government agencies. I'll tell you what, the thing that encourages me the most is when you hear him, Mike Johnson, talking to Martha McCallum there. Because I hadn't heard that clip before. And he says, we're going to take the number, what was the number?
428 down to 99.
428 to 99.
428 to 99.
Here's why that is so encouraging to me. Because when you hear, we're going to have a brainstorming session about how to cut government funding, that's great. Love to hear that. When you hear that there are already specifics like that they're talking about, that they're aiming for, you go, okay, their talks are way beyond just the brainstorming phase. They have a goal in mind, and now they're brainstorming how to get to that goal. That's great news.
I read a post that was like, it was a comment on somebody. I think it was maybe an Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever. And this person was like, it said that Donald Trump didn't win the popular vote. He still has the popular vote by like 1.4 million, but he might be below 50%.
He's below, just below it.
So we've now redefined popular vote, just like we redefined recession when we were in a recession.
Yeah.
It's funny how these words get redefined right when they're no longer useful for the lefties who need to cry harder. So he was like, Donald Trump didn't win the popular vote. They only have 220 Republicans in the House, only 53 senators in the United States Senate. And they're like, there's no mandate. And I'm like, you are a loser. Like, what a dumb thing to say. And the way they're trying to utilize these numbers to try to suggest that there is no mandate. There is, and it really is all that matters. Donald Trump feels he has a mandate. Mike Johnson feels he has a mandate. John Thune feels he has a mandate. That's all you need. And if Mike Johnson is good at his job, and Scalise, who I think is still the whip, the majority whip, I think so, or maybe he's a majority leader. I have to check. But if the Republican Party in the House and the Senate agrees with the mandate mentality, it doesn't matter if they have a super slim majority like that in the House. If Mike Johnson is going to be worth his weight there in the House of Representatives, these cuts are going to happen. They're going to happen. And what you're going to see in 2026, which is a weird year to say out loud. That doesn't even seem possible. 2026. All I know about 2025 is Project 2025, so I'm going to have to recalibrate that thinking here shortly.
Well, once we get to 26, that's obsolete.
It's totally old news. Ariana Grande and Drew Barrymore are hugging. Of course they are. You're going to find yourself in a position for the American people to understand the benefit of cutting government spending, or you're going to find Republicans who are upset that you didn't cut government spending, or you're going to find out that they cut it in the wrong places. So this is a strategical slice. But I do think you have the right people involved in doing it. You've got non-government officials leading the charge. Lord bless that endeavor. I'm so excited.
You know what's so funny is that anytime that they go through a government shutdown and Congress is debating, it's you only really feel it in two ways. One is if you are a government employee or you know people who are, because they're not getting paid all of a sudden, and they got to wait for the back pay once they get things rolling again. The other is they go, all right, you're not feeling it enough? We're going to shut down the national parks. And then everybody goes, oh, they shut down the freaking national parks.
Or they say they're going to sell them.
Or that, but none of that will happen under these cuts. So it is, you're going to go, well, how, are people even going to notice? My guess is that no, people are not going to notice at all that these things are gone.
Well, time will tell, and it will tell because it's going to happen. We're going to take a quick break here. Deroy Murdock is going to be with us when we come back, and he's going to talk about Pete Hegseth. You've seen that he has been nominated as the defense secretary in Donald Trump's cabinet. A lot of blowback coming against him. Reports written, articles written about him, talking about how his coworkers speak about him. But then you have a bunch of his coworkers who's speaking on their own behalf with their name attached to their comments saying, what in the world are you talking about? You never asked me. Pete Hegseth and his confirmation possibilities, that discussion with Deroy Murdock next.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the bagel loan home. So if you call 314-324-4440, that's 314-324-4440, you're getting a direct line to Stewie. And Stewie is the guy who created the bagel loan, which is only available at Stewart's American Mortgage. You can work with Stewart's American Mortgage to refinance your home, or if you're looking to purchase a home right now, to get that initial mortgage, get the low rate that you qualify for. But here's the big deal. You pay $0 in closing costs. No charge, no closing costs, no fees at the end that are your responsibility. They don't exist. They don't get rolled into the loan. No closing costs. It's the bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage. You can call him or text him directly at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Tell him Annie sent you and ask him how a bagel loan refinance or initial mortgage can help you. You can Google the bagel loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Have you ever been told you can't get into the water for 30 minutes after eating because you can cramp up and drown? And then you were told if you eat watermelon seeds, you're going to grow a watermelon in your stomach. Swallowing gum it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years. Don't sit too close to the TV or you'll go blind. Wow, these aren't your peers saying this is your, people you're counting on that you believe and you trust. Or the air conditioning that we have now isn't good enough for you, so you need to do this. I don't know, guys. If you have questions, you have doubts, and you want common sense approach to, heating and cooling your home affordably, call me, Bart Inman, one really easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
I know we're all busy. We're working, we're running errands, trying to take care of the kids. It's really easy to put things off. One thing you do not want to put off, though, your annual eye exam. The doctors at Ophthalmology Associates not only gave me the most thorough eye exam I've ever had, but they're also experts in the diagnosis and treatment of all diseases of the eye. Everything from dry eye to macular degeneration and cataracts. Think about this. Your eye health is the window into your overall body health. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranja Mahal, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry, they can look at your eyes and even tell in some cases if you have early stage diabetes, heart disease, lung problems, even some forms of cancer. They're called the doctors' doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors. The best part about this is that most insurance plans cover the cost of your annual eye exam. Set up your appointment today, 314-966-5000. Again, 314-966-5000, or go to youridoc.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know that men across the country are getting their ED meds at TriRexMD.com and saving thousands of dollars? TriRexMD.com has FDA-approved ED meds and is now offering sample packs. Listen to what guys are saying about TriRexMD.com.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is definitely much happier.
I walk a little taller when I'm using the product, knowing what the results are going to be.
Because it is effective, I say I'm on a second honeymoon.
It's literally life-changing.
Visit TriRexMD.com. Your consultation is free, there's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. You can now access a 30-day sample pack at TriRexMD.com with generics, if appropriate. Visit TriRexMD.com right now to get your sample pack. That's TriRexMD.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
I think most normal people don't ever feel inspired to go out and hold a sign and protest or something like that. I'll tell you what, if I was in New York City and this is a guilty verdict, I think I'd go to the courtroom and raise hell, or to the courthouse, because it would be outrageous.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is The Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
I'm on Judiciary Committee. Pam Bondi will come out of the committee with all Republicans and I think some Democrats, because she's an incredibly qualified person, very ethical, former Attorney General of Florida. No better pick for Attorney General. Kash Patel, counterterrorism prosecutor, understands the government. And if the FBI doesn't need to be cleaned out, what does? So, yeah, he'll make it out of committee. I don't know if he'll get any Democrats, but I think he'll get all Republicans. I'm a big fan of his choice to be FBI director. I've known Pete for a long time. I served with him in Afghanistan. The people over there said nothing but great things about him. The allegations against Pete are all anonymous sources. I am not going to make any decision based on an anonymous source. If you're not willing to raise your hand under oath and make the accusation, it doesn't count.
So that's Senator Lindsey Graham listing off some of Trump's cabinet picks. But I've also seen quite a few reports saying that he hasn't fully committed to supporting Pete Hegseth. Yet for defense secretary, he has mentioned his support for Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, of course. What is the deal behind these people who are pushing back against Pete Hegseth so much? Well, let's ask our friend Deroy Murdock on a Thursday. Great to have you back, Deroy, nationally syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. Thanks for being here today.
Oh, my pleasure, Annie. Good to be with you again.
What do you make of all of these discussions surrounding Pete Hegseth? It's almost I kind of understood the Matt Gaetz division over how people felt about him, but I don't really understand what people are so scared of with Pete Hegseth for defense secretary.
Well, I've always said the biggest problem among so many GOP leaders is just fear. They're just scared, and they're not scared of anything in particular. They just generally would wake up in the morning and first shadow they see, they jump in the opposite direction. And I think these guys, not all of them, but some of them, and you only need to lose, I guess you can lose 3 Republicans. After that, you're in trouble. And if all the Democrats stay together, these dummies are not going to get approved. But I think they're just scared that something about Pete Hegseth and others will cause problems. They wake up and they're scared of, is this tax cut too big? And, do we want to be too tough on the illegal aliens, whatever it might be. And they need to understand Trump won comfortably. He has a solid mandate. The GOP won the White House, the Senate, and the House. They have a mandate to lead. They should stop being cowardly and put in the people who are going to go in. And, some people think, well, he might turn the Pentagon upside down. Kash Patel might turn the FBI upside down. Pam Bondi might turn the Department of Justice upside down. Guess what? They need to be turned upside down. A lot of these bureaucracies are, at best, well-intended but bumbling and inefficient. At worst, you have a lot of political people in there who feel that even though their job is to serve the American taxpayers and follow the lead of whoever the president is and implement that president's policies, their view is, no, I'm going to go to the office today and do what I want and push my agenda, which tends to be a big government left of center agenda. And if you have a big government left of center president who wants that, that's one thing. But if you have a conservative, limited government, pro-free enterprise president, that's what he's pushing. Your job is either to row in the same direction, or if you don't like it, resign and go do something else with your life. Go become a law professor, or, go teach or go practice tax law at a law firm or something like this. But folks who are resisting on Capitol Hill, the senators, they need to get with the program. And I think so much of the stuff that's been raised about Pete Hegseth, either it's, he said, she said, sexual misconduct allegations, none of which added up to any police charges or prosecution charges, indictments, what have you. As for the story that came out yesterday in the NBC News put out this story saying that people at Fox News, or 10 people, current and former Fox News personnel, were saying that Pete was, drunk on the set and he could barely get through his performances and smelled like alcohol and on and on. Every single one of those accusations, all 10 of them anonymous.
Yeah.
No names attached. Who knows if these people exist? They could be totally invented by the authors who wrote this story, or they might think, well, my name is not attached, so let me exaggerate or create something from scratch or take some small thing and blow it out of proportion. So I like the Lindsey Graham standard. If there's not a name attached to an accusation, it doesn't count. I really like that. That ought to be a new standard, because the left is pushing all these. It happened with Kavanaugh. It happened with Hegseth. It's happened with so many others. They just have these stories about anonymous sources. Anonymous sources saying, "Oh, Donald J. Trump said he didn't want to go to that World War I cemetery in Paris when he was, or outside Paris when he was president, because those people were suckers and losers. People were buried there, and he didn't want to get his hair wet in the rain." All those are anonymous sources. 4 anonymous sources came out and said that. I was able to put together in several pieces after that horrible story by Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic. I believe it was 16 people who said on the record they were in Paris. That wasn't true. That was a pack of lies. So I think we should stop listening to anonymous sources and listen to actual sources where people stick their heads up, put their names out, and have to, stand by their word and pay the consequences if they don't.
Yeah, amen to that. Deroy Murdock speaking with us right now. I looked it up. Lloyd Austin, the current defense secretary for Joe Biden, he was approved. He only had 2 people who voted against him. One of them was our Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, and the other one was Mike Lee. All of these other Republicans right now who are in the mix to approve the people who Donald Trump says he wants in his cabinet in order to affect the changes that the American people agreed with him and sent him into the Oval Office once again. What do you make of any of this posturing by the senators right now who are, it just almost feels a little too much, I want my moment in the spotlight because I'm the one who gets to say yes and I'm going to drag this out a little bit. It's very annoying to me.
What is annoying, if they want their moments in the spotlight, they should stand up, especially in the middle of right now. I mean, controversies directed against Pete Hegseth. If you want to look courageous, stand up with him and hold a press conference and go into the Senate gallery and say, I, Senator Smith or Jones, stand with Pete Hegseth and stand up next to him and say you'll make a great defense secretary. We'll go about undoing the damage that Lloyd Austin has done as Secretary of Defense. People say, well, does Pete have the ability to run this big bureaucracy? You look at a guy like Lloyd Austin. Lots of experience. He's got, he's a general. He's been there for decades. And yet this is the same administration that brought us the disaster in Afghanistan, the endless hunt for white nationalists in the ranks. This is the most integrated institution in America. And the first thing that they did is, we got to have a stand down. They literally told every unit, stand down and spend time thinking about DEI and critical race theory. And, white people feel guilty about what you did, and black people feel like victims of slavery, and on and on and on. And then Austin had surgery. He disappeared for, a week, 10 days, didn't tell the President of the United States, didn't tell the White House Chief of Staff, didn't tell the National Security Advisor. And look, you have to get surgery. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you don't want to make it public because you're, embarrassed about prostate cancer or whatever it is, you don't have to give a press conference, but you absolutely need to tell the President of the United States and the National Security Advisor, I'm going under the knife. I need to take some time off. Please deal with my deputies. If it's really crazy, contact me. If not, I'm going to take a week off and try to get better. And the response is, great, get better, wonderful. We look forward to seeing you when you're better. That's A-okay. What you don't do is just disappear and go AWOL, the guy running the Pentagon, and nobody knows where he is for 3, 4, 5 days. I think Pete Hegseth can do better than that. I think if he can do better than Lloyd Austin has done, that will be a great success as Secretary of Defense. And I'm looking forward to great service from him as running the Pentagon.
Well, I encourage listeners right now to check out your article on Spectator, because you've really outlined all of the people who have come with their name attached to it that have worked with Pete Hegseth and would know him as an individual. A lot of people are likening this to the Kavanaugh treatment. And they've really honed in on Pete Hegseth of all of the nominations, and you have very nicely put all of these people who are defending him publicly with their name attached, like I said, into one place for people to understand that there are a lot of character witnesses out there that don't mind being personally attached to supporting him. And hopefully we'll see Donald Trump get his cabinet and get this done pretty quickly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. The piece is on the Spectator website right now, and I quote 15, the anonymous sources in the NBC story, 10 of them, none of them with names attached. I have 15 people here with their names attached who say they've worked with Pete Hegseth over the years. They've never seen him intoxicated, never smelled alcohol in his breath, none of the behavior that's alleged in the NBC News story. None of them have seen anything like this. The 2 most compelling witnesses, I think, are his co-hosts on Fox and Friends Weekend, Will Cain, and he said the following. He said, "Put my name on it, on the record. It'll be your only record source." Pete Hegseth, he's worked with him all these years. I said, "Sign the guy who sat next to him for 8 hours every week for 5 years, starting at 6 a.m." And he referred to the NBC News story as, shall we say, horse waste. That's, I guess, what the polite way to put it.
Yeah, he did.
On the air. Rachel Campos Duffy, who's the other co-host with Hegseth at Fox and Friends Weekend, says here, "The losers at NBC News never reached out to me either. Will Cain is right. You now have 2 people who sat next to him 8 plus hours a week on the record. Will you retract or correct your story?" And I think it's very significant that they worked with him every weekend. Sometimes he'll also fill in during the week sometimes at 6 in the morning. Now, if you're out on a bender you might be able to get your act together for a 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. broadcast. If you're on at 6 in the morning, you're very likely going to smell like booze and be kind of stumbly and not in very good shape and, clutching on your stomach and, drinking down Alka-Seltzer. So if he, in fact, went on these benders that are alleged in this story, people who were working with him on the air at 6 in the morning are going to notice. And for 8 years, these people worked, literally sitting right next to him. They say they saw no such thing. So that story from NBC News, I started my journalism career on my junior high school paper, 9th grade. And we were told, you need to have sources with names on them, especially if you're alleging people of, crimes or misbehavior or whatever. And that NBC News story did not reach the level of what was expected of me as a journalist on a junior high school paper.
Yeah, maybe we need to get people back to that line of thinking. Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, and you can check his piece out in The Spectator. Go to spectator.org to see Deroy's piece on Pete Hegseth. Atlantic, you mentioned the Atlantic, and gosh, it's like all you have to say is there was a piece in the fill in the blank, and then everybody knows at this point where we're headed with whatever the subject matter is. Did Donald Trump's victory have a measurable effect on how these types of media outlets, this version of journalism, how successful it's going to be in the next coming years?
I don't sense much of that introspection, if you will, on the part of of media. I do see some Democrats saying, look, we pushed it too far. We've got to dial this back. There's a gentleman whose name I can't think of his name right now, I'm afraid, but he's a former New York State Senator who's running for DNC chief, and I saw an interview with him, and he was saying, look, we need to move more to the center. We've been pushing extremist stuff. People don't want to hear how they're going to pay their grocery bills. They don't want to hear about, why their 10-year-old boy's penis needs to be removed and he needs to go from being, Jack to Janet. They're not interested in that. So that gives you a sense that elected officials in the Democrat Party, to some degree, are thinking about this sort of thing. I've not seen anything from anybody in the media on the left other than, he's still Hitler and we got to stop him and he's out of control and he has no right to do this. What election? I've not seen any, I can't think of anybody in the media who's dialed things back. Yeah. Some of the politicians a little bit, none of the journalists I've been able to detect. It's still, full speed ahead, tear Trump down no matter what.
Sure looks like the consumers of that media have decided to opt out, at least maybe for the holiday season. Maybe they'll come back come mid-January next year when things really start to fire up. But it looks to me like the American people are like, well, enough of that, because they felt lied to for quite some time. But we shall see.
Already, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good journalism by you and The Spectator. We appreciate you as always, and look forward to having you back next week.
All right, Annie. Likewise. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye, Deroy. Deroy Murdock is a nationally syndicated columnist, Fox News contributor as well. Are we ready with this? I want to go to this. This is a news alert, and I've been seeing some of the comments come in on the YouTube chat that alerted that this was happening. Fox News just covered it, but there's been a pretty significant earthquake off the coast of California. There's a tsunami warning. Let's listen into Fox News and their report.
Coast of California, 7.0 magnitude at 10:44 local time, prompting a tsunami warning for coastal areas. At least 5 million people are under the tsunami warning. We know that California Governor Gavin Newsom has been briefed on the earthquakes off the coast of Northern California and the resulting tsunami warning. Obviously, grave concern about this when you consider the west coast of the United States is a highly populated area, Sandra. And I'm reminded that 20 years ago this month, the day after Christmas, of course, with the tsunami that rocked Thailand. And so officials on the west coast taking it very seriously.
Yeah, so that's the report from Fox News weather. Earthquake, tsunami warning. We'll keep an eye on that and see if something materializes here, at least until 3 o'clock, and we hand it over to the Mark Reardon Show. We'll have a quick break. Ryan Wiggins will join Brad and myself back in studio here in just a few minutes. Don't go away. Let's discuss this question upon Ryan's return, and we'll throw in some of your comments as well from the Annie Fry YouTube live chat. The poll today is, will Joe Biden pardon himself? And Kurt starts us off and says, yes, he is totally evil and corrupt, second only to Soros and company. Joe says, why stop now? Any legacy you had is long gone. Don't die in jail. This is like a courtesy thought there. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Fry Show and the poll discussion when we come back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Shop and save at Ruler Foods. You can go online to rulerfoods.com and save on your grocery bill. I was talking about Christmas shopping earlier and how you start having all these extra expenses in this month. And it's like, good grief, how are you supposed to afford all your basic needs and all of these gifts? Well, save on your grocery bill when you shop at Ruler Foods. You can see specifically what I'm talking about without moving from where you are right now. Pick up your phone, get on your computer at work. You're not working. It's 1:45. You're done. Go to rulerfoods.com and you can see the ad right there and see what is on sale. For instance, produce. We love the Ruler Foods produce. We shop the Ruler Foods in Collinsville. Avocados or mangoes, just 88 cents each. We love guac in our house, and those avocados, we buy a lot of them. Red seedless grapes, $1.48. You can save on Kroger, 80% lean ground beef, sold in a 3-pound roll. Very, very versatile. Definitely when you're feeding a family of 6. There's a lot of ground beef going through that household, $3.98 a pound. Save on your groceries, save on your holiday meals, save on the stuff you're bringing to the potlucks or the baking supplies that you need. They have the name brands you love and trust. They also have Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices, which we have grown to love and trust in the Fry household. All the details online at rulerfoods.com.
Student loans can be a strain on your family. For a limited time, the Springfield, Missouri Police Department is offering qualifying new officers up to $12,500 to help ease the burden of student loans. If you're driven, honest, and team-oriented, we want to talk to you about joining our next paid police academy. Start serving your community as a leader of it with the Springfield Police Department. Visit gospd.com for more information. That's gospd.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com wants to remind you that if you pay for your own health insurance, open enrollment ends January 15th. If you are looking for coverage, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers, and they will not stop. Instead, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years experience, and he can provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their plans, if you qualify, let you pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. The monthly premiums are independent of your income, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a small business, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. They will custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Will Joe Biden pardon himself? Or as Saturday Night Live would say, will Joe Biden pardon himself? Yes or no? That is today's YouTube live chat poll.
Did she really say that like that? Joe Biden?
Yeah. Oh, who? Kamala?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was an SNL thing.
What the actress, what's her name?
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph, she's funny. That she kind of like overemphasized, embellished, which is what you do. But everything that Kamala has said was kind of slurred together. But I had never picked up that.
I
now
hadn't
people
either.
say Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Because of her.
just because of SNL. 148, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
We know you've got an interesting take on things. You can tell us by clicking the microphone button next to Listen Live when you're on the Odyssey app. Record a short message for us to hear when you tune into 97.1 on the Odyssey app. This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
What are the odds that Nelly is driving around St. Louis right now listening to his song on 97.1?
In the 90s, the 90 percentile.
I thought you meant like the 1990s.
No, way up there as far as percent chance.
Nelly, man, if you are, we'd love to talk to you. We don't even have to tell people we did it.
Yeah. We can change your name. We can be like, this is a St. Louis rapper.
Smelly.
Named named Deli.
There's a lot of funny names that Belly, Jelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mentioned one just a second ago, Deli.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. DELI, though. We have fun.
We? Nelly's like, I ain't listening to this crap.
Nelly was listening.
He was like, oh, well, that might... No.
When we were talking about Mike Johnson and Doge, he's like, okay.
He's trying to listen to 96.3, and he just went a little too far on the dial. Who are these people?
Hey, that's me.
We're going to get a cease and desist on using his songs.
Yeah. And his name. Yeah, and his city.
We're just associating him with everything. This whole hour's been sponsored by Nelly.
No, in fact, it hasn't. Another disclaimer. What is this? The View? Who am I, Sunny Hostin? Nothing we say here has truth to it. It's like Sunny Hostin. She should get a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
A disclaimer shirt.
Yeah, she should just like rip her overshirt open and be like, disclaimer time. And like all the lights come on. I mean, she would have a shirt on under it that said disclaimer.
You left that part out.
You're doing a disclaimer on your disclaimer.
Nelly is definitely not listening.
Anytime she reads the disclaimer, she should rip her shirt open.
I can't stand by this type of behavior from you, Ryan. It's shameful.
Well,
don't make it worse. Don't make it worse.
He wasn't kidding when he said the View revs his engine.
Only since they started reading disclaimers. Now I'm all in. I love watching that show now. Every day at 10. It's View time. Feet go up. Mark Cox hangs out with me in the office. We just kind of watch it.
Do not put his name on this. Do not besmirch the name of one Mark Cox in your weird fantasies about the View.
I'm not. This isn't fantasies.
Somebody tell Mark Cox, if you're friends with him, text him right now and be like,
Don't do that.
You and Ryan turn on the View and close the door.
Mark's probably listening. Anytime I ever do this, Mark the next day is like, well, I heard you talking about our View watching sessions. And I'm like, what? I can't get anything by you.
You're not like my wife.
That's not what he's going to say. That's not what he's going to say. You want to clear anything up, or you feel pretty explained?
What needs to be cleared up?
Nothing at all. I'm just watching my phone, waiting for that text message to come through. The YouTube live chat poll, if you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, will Joe Biden pardon himself? Yes or no? I played that clip a little bit earlier in the show from CNN. What's her name? CNN's Kate Bedingfield. Didn't she sing a song?
I think that's Kate Beckinsale.
Or Natasha Bedingfield.
Natasha Bedingfield.
Is that a person?
Same person.
Beckinsfield's an actress, isn't she?
It might as well be. Talking about pardons and Joe Biden.
President Biden sparked a wave of bipartisan backlash this week, announcing the sweeping pardon of his son Hunter. But according to new Politico reporting, it may not be the only pardon that Biden grants. Jonathan Martin reports this. President Joe Biden's senior aides are conducting a vigorous internal debate over whether to issue preemptive pardons to a range of current and former public officials who could be targeted with President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House.
So there you have them talking about these potential pardons. I think everyone likes to point out there's an admission of guilt that goes along with the pardon. Is Joe Biden going to pardon himself? And are they going to go over the top in the accusation that Donald Trump is going to just come out with, guns a-blazing, revenge for everyone? So I guess we have to issue these pardons because we don't know what he's going to come after us for. He's crazy. Is he going to pardon himself?
No, I don't think he will, because that will be sort of an admission of guilt. It'll put the spotlight back on his crimes, in a sense, or potential crimes or pardonable crimes, instead of him being able to kind of skirt it. The weird thing is that when you start pardoning people, then you do kind of bring up what has been happening with Hunter over this last couple of weeks, which is everything, all the indiscretions that he was participating in since 2014, apparently, because they were very specific about that, are now under greater scrutiny than if they hadn't pardoned him. So I've seen people suggesting that they still actually go through with the investigation now and just not sentence him, just like they've been doing with the president. I just think this could backfire too big for him to go ahead and pardon himself.
I think he's backed himself in the corner, and he needs to pardon himself because
you two should fight. First, rip your shirts open.
Okay,
Whoa.
done.
It's your rules, not mine.
This is Hulkamania.
But I mean,
Just say brother a bunch of times.
I think he's lost his Fifth Amendment. Hunter's lost his Fifth Amendment because he can't claim it. He can't charge it because he can't be charged with anything. Therefore, he can't incriminate himself. But if he has to sit in front of people and to keep himself out of jail, not lie to investigators while under oath, then he could be incriminating his father. And I think Joe Biden's backed himself into a corner, and he has to do it if he wants to keep his own name out of this.
Think Joe
this
Biden's
story.
a criminal?
Yeah. I think he's
He's
committed.
the president. Yeah, he's probably.
He's probably a criminal. He seems to have. He's done all of the things that a criminal would do. You set up so many shell organizations that you are protecting yourself from peering eyes. He's done all the stuff. So he hasn't been scrutinized enough to know whether or not, to know what his crimes would be. That's the problem.
You think he's a criminal?
Well, yeah. I mean, even if you just go back to the documents case where they said, yeah, we would prosecute him, but he's old and senile. So we can't do it.
That too, yeah.
So, I mean, the prosecutors there said there's enough evidence here, and the only thing that's keeping us from doing it is he might get some sympathy because he looks like a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. So I think he is a criminal based on that.
That'd be a funny shirt, too. That's all I think about these days. You brought the documents case up, and they made the case that was a criminal endeavor. So in that essence, he is a criminal. But I also think he did some other really bad things.
Yes.
And I don't need to see Joe Biden in an orange jumpsuit, but I do want to know what happened. I want everybody who was attached to the grift, I want everybody to be known. Because I don't want that bologna sausage taking place in our government system anymore, and I want everybody who votes to know who was willing to support that type of a system before. That's what I want to know. Quick break. Do we have any? Are you okay? Yes, we do. Trisha coming in about 30 minutes. Don't go away.
It's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res. Here's a question for you. You need to answer honestly. Is your home ready for the holidays? If you haven't had the carpets cleaned in a while, the answer is no, and this is the time to do something about it. And I have a great offer from my friends at Zero Res right now during the month of December. I've had Zero Res in my home so many times over the last decade. Unfortunately, a lot this year because of pet accidents. They can always help you in a pinch. But for some overall cleaning, getting your home ready for the holidays, maybe getting the gunk out of the air ducts, this is a great time to do it. Call Zero Res at 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com. And the offer, when you mention my name or 97.1 FM Talk for the month of December, 3 rooms starting at $129, $75 off your air duct cleaning package. They have great customer service, a ton of crews, and the legendary 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee. Book your appointment today. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res. Call 314-474-2020 or online, ZeroResSTL.com. It's Mark Reardon for New Perspective Senior Living in Weldon Spring. It's a brand new, beautiful facility that offers state-of-the-art independent and assisted living and a memory care facility. They have holiday specials on select apartments right now. New Perspective is redefining senior living. But just don't take my word for it. Call to schedule a free lunch and activity to experience it for yourself. Visit npseniorliving.com. That's N as in Nancy, P as in Paul, seniorliving.com.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
Your voice can be key to changing lives. That's why the American Cancer Society is calling on Black women from all walks of life to join Voices of Black Women, a groundbreaking research study led by the American Cancer Society and backed by more than 70 years of trusted cancer research studies and breakthroughs. The Voices of Black Women study is designed to better understand why and how cancer and other conditions impact Black women. It's a commitment to partnering with Black women to better understand their lived experiences. Learn more at voices.cancer.org.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best. Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A tsunami warning in California and Oregon. Lisa Brady, Fox News. This after a powerful earthquake off the northern California coast, a magnitude 7, felt as far away as south as San Francisco. No reports of damage or injuries, but the quake was followed by smaller aftershocks and the tsunami warning, which impacts nearly 5 million people.
Governor Gavin Newsom, his press office put out a statement on X saying, quote, the governor has been briefed on the earthquakes off the coast of Northern California and the resulting tsunami warning. Governor Newsom is now meeting with state emergency officials and working to ensure Californians are safe.
Fox's Jonathan Hodge. The tsunami warning extends into southern Oregon. The quake was centered near Ferndale, a small city in coastal Humboldt County near the Oregon border. Top FDA officials land on the Capitol Hill Grill, facing questions about ultra-processed food and food dyes.
At a Senate health hearing, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville asked FDA Deputy Commissioner Jim Jones why red dyes, one of which is known to cause cancer after being in cosmetics, are still available in some foods.
So Red 3, we have a petition in front of us to revoke the authorization for it, and we are hopeful that within the next few weeks we will be acting on that petition and a decision should be forthcoming.
Tuberville asked why Canada and Europe ban so many chemicals that we don't.
In the FDA, although we have authorization to do post-market reviews, there's no statutory mandate to do them.
He says we are years behind Europe in conducting such post-market chemical reviews.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Trump nominee for Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has vowed changes to address some of the same issues. Day 3 of jury deliberations in the subway chokehold death case in New York. Earlier, jurors asking the judge to reread the definitions of recklessness and negligence and to give them a written copy. America is listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The official 97.1 FM Talk Weather Center forecast. Sunny, cold afternoon. The high today 27. Clear to partly cloudy. It'll be cold tonight, low 19. Sunshine, a few clouds tomorrow. The high up to 41. And then sunny, warmer day on Saturday. The high at 55. Some sun and clouds. A mild day on Sunday. The high for Sunday afternoon, 59. I'm Steve Williams for 97.1 FM Talk.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar. And maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
'Tis the season to give back at our annual Apache Village RV Toys for Tots Drive. Wear an ugly sweater and join us Saturday, December 7th in Hazelwood for Picks with Santa, chili, hot cocoa, cookies, and holiday savings on RVs by Jayco, Keystone Bontrager, and Fleetwood. First-time buyers, we have new RVs under $200 a month with only $100 down. Apache Village is a family business for over 40 years. Toys for Tots collected at both locations now through December 9th. Let us help you make lasting family memories. Go one better. Go Apache Village RV in Hazelwood and Wentzville.
Ho, ho, ho! This is Santa, and I'm going to be in the Defiance Christmas Festival Parade Saturday, December 7th. Food trucks open at 9 a.m. At 10 a.m., kids' activities, including a bounce house, along with live music from Clover and the Dashing Through Defiance 5K. Sign up at runsignup.com. Parade starts at noon right through downtown Defiance. Please, no Santa costumes. The kids come to see me. Following the parade, pictures with me, Santa, and a beer tent with live music at 1:30. No coolers in the park. That's Saturday, December 7th. Come and see me in Defiance. Ho, ho, ho!
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
Steel holiday savings are here. Make room under the tree for gifts at the top of their wish list. Power up the holidays with great deals on long-lasting tools. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at steelusa.com.
Hi, this is Fred Bottomer from The Mark Reardon Show, inviting you to donate blood at the Odyssey Holiday Heroes Blood Drive. Please call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule an appointment or visit redcrossblood.org. Use sponsor code Odyssey.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, there is a 7.0 magnitude earthquake off the west coast of California. Looks like, would you call that like Central California? Maybe Northern? Bay Area?
It's Northern.
Yeah.
Bay Area. And there was a tsunami warning, but they've pulled the tsunami warning back. So it's kind of the news of the day, at least in weather. But were you cold? Was it cold last night? Like,
yeah.
In your house?
Oh my gosh, yes.
We've been having our air set at a particular temperature, and we're good with that. Everybody go grab an extra blanket. You'll be fine. I would much rather be in a cold room cozied up under lots of blankets. That's like ideal. And last night I was like, I can't get warm.
Same.
It looked like a crime scene in the front of our house because we've talked many times on this show about my angst of my husband climbing up on the roof and putting up lights and stuff like that. It's just a very stressful situation. Every year I'm worried that if I'm not home, he's going to do it when I'm not home and be like, oh, honey, I surprised you and you didn't have to know I was doing it. It would just, then he's still got to take him down in theory.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of decorations that we put up on the ground, a lot of Disney stuff and Jesus stuff. You
guys have big bulbs or little bulbs?
What do you think?
Probably huge.
They're gigantic.
Gigantic bulbous bulbs.
Yeah, the only way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Big bulbs.
Yeah, go big or go home.
You don't go up on that roof without big bulbs.
The bulbs don't go up. They go down. They stay down. We don't put them up anymore. Not the lights, at least. But if you had if you inflated your inflatables last night, and we don't have inflatables, we're not those kind of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Trashy people.
No. Rich.
Oh.
Trashy.
Man, the class warfare on this show all of a sudden.
I know. If you had inflatables last night, they're in a different county today.
Oh, I'm glad to know that because we put our trash out last night and our trash did not stay there.
Where'd it go?
All over. And I didn't know that it was going to be
you
that
put
windy.
your trash out like your decorations?
No, well, with our trash, I think we're the first street in the morning. So we have to put it out at night. Otherwise, we'll miss it in the morning. So we always have to put it out the night before. And I opened up the door this morning and saw that one of our trash cans, one of them, thankfully, was still okay. The other one had tipped over, and I was like, that raccoon. And then I realized that the raccoon was probably frozen to death, and it was the wind.
Was there a raccoon?
Oh, there always is a raccoon. Me and this raccoon have a history.
Have you named it?
It doesn't deserve that. It's called the raccoon.
Did you capitalize
Though
those
actually, I think this raccoon has some sort of mange. This raccoon has problems, okay?
Ethan busts into the studio in the weirdest times when he's got something to contribute, and he just came in with a Kramer-like fervor. Yes?
Do you have a raccoon?
No, but you've mentioned this raccoon before.
See? We have a history. I told you.
You mentioned, and I think maybe it was a day where it was the Manny Fry show, perhaps.
Okay.
Good.
And
I'm out. I'm going to drink my shake.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that this raccoon at one point scared you.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
it not?
This is the peak of our relationship is the scare.
Yes, but
who was pursuing whom?
It was pursuing trash.
But you didn't know it was there, right?
and I provided that trash inadvertently for it. So there we met.
So you were putting out signals.
I guess in a sense.
But do you remember when you saw it and it kind of jump scared you?
Oh, my gosh.
What did you yell, Ryan?
Well, was there a particular phrase? Because all I remember is just screaming.
Well, you said that it was one of those situations where you kind of just yelped out, but you didn't know if, you were kind of like, oh, man, is there anyone around me? I thought you
it was
said
like
that
3 a.m.
I thought you said you just randomly yelled out, "Ha, raccoon!"
I think that sounds about right because I wasn't going to yell its name because it doesn't have one. I walked into my garage.
Maybe if you called it by its name, it'd listen to you.
In the middle of the night.
This was when we were having flooding in our basement. And so it's raining. I get up in the middle of the night. I hear rain still to this day, I'm like,
yeah, I know.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So I get up in the middle of the night. I go outside. I'm going to start bailing water out of our window well. So I do, and it's probably almost freezing. It's just a terrible night, and I'm bailing water, and I finally get it down low enough that I'm like, I think I could probably sleep for a couple hours. And I walk back into the garage in the middle of the night, and the raccoon is in. We keep our trash in the garage until it's trash day, like most people do.
Just like throw it on the floor?
No, in the trash can.
Oh.
And I walk by the trash can.
I was going to help you solve your problem.
No. I walk by the trash can, and the raccoon jumps up out like he's like, whoa, I didn't see you coming. And I didn't realize that he was in the trash because I had just walked by it.
Why? If your trash cans are in the garage?
Yes.
And the raccoon is in your garage?
Because I had to go out to bail out the water, I left the garage door open.
So it's lying in wait.
So it, in the middle of the night, is like, oh, garage door's open 3 a.m. I'm sure I'm
garbage.
safe now. Yeah, let's go check out the garbage. Like it does every now and then, by the way. I'll walk out there and be like, freaking raccoon came in my garage again. And I know where it's at, too. It's in the sewer. I called the police.
Have you seen Caddyshack?
You called the.
Have you seen Caddyshack?
Yeah?
Okay.
Have you seen Caddyshack 2?
No.
Don't.
Man, we got 7 more minutes.
So this thing's got that brain disease, whatever it's, rabies. No, I thought it was something else, but maybe it's got rabies.
Maybe it's just
and
a raccoon.
mange and all the other problems that raccoons bring.
ADHD.
Yeah, probably ADHD, clubfoot.
Diabetes.
Yeah, it's got COVID.
Is it gonna walk around on a limp?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't. But it's not afraid of people because
Okay.
it's got whatever that thing is that its brain that makes it just kind of like unaware that it's in danger, and it's not actually in danger because what am I going to do? Like
That's
hit it with
rabies.
a rake or something?
I mean, you could.
I probably will if I can. But
Maybe
you
talk
get
to it, see
just
what it needs.
Close enough. I get just close enough, and it's kind of like, oh, I should probably back off now. It's sort of like scurries back into the sewer. So it goes into the sewer drain right near my house. And the problem is the sewer drain goes all the way under the street to the opposite side of our cul-de-sac. And so it's got all this luxurious raccoon tunnel space to just make its home. And it's been there forever. And nobody can get it out, including the police.
You know what you should do? You should obstruct it from getting out to where only water can get into the drain.
No, it's too smart. It's going to figure it out. Because it's
Ryan,
you just said
Ryan.
it was too dumb to realize you're dangerous.
Ryan.
Well, it's got brain problems.
Ryan,
Yeah.
just need to be smarter than the raccoon.
How? Tell me what to do that doesn't involve a ton of work.
I will gladly help you with your problem for a fee. I will.
Zumba for
Yes.
free.
I'm just going to call
Does-
pest
is
control
your-
and
I
take
called,
10%.
I called all
Points?
these. Actually, do they deal with raccoons?
I think they might. It's worth. I'll
I bet
text
they
them
do.
because people are talking about your mouse problem. It's the mouse problem that you have in your basement.
No, that's dealt with.
Near your candy drawer.
I dealt with that.
Candy drawer in your basement?
Yes.
It got into some Hostess snacks.
It's a candy drawer for just him.
Yeah.
Does your family know about it?
They know about one of them. I've got
Yeah,
two.
but the
One's a
mouse knew
decoy.
about 2 of them.
Yeah, the mouse found both
You have
of
a
them.
decoy candy drawer?
Mhm.
What kind of candy do you have in there? Crap.
It's the same stuff. It's just more of it.
Those strawberry candies that nobody likes.
Yeah, I got kind of the junk in the one. My friend from Japan, who I went to visit in March, he'll
Sounds
send
like a
me
real story. Go on.
he'll send me some nice Japanese foods every now and then, just because it's fun. He can walk down to 7-Eleven. Just
Do you send
me
him some nice American foods every
That's
once
what
in a while?
it's hard to buy him presents because he just goes down to the gas station, And I'm like, look, if I go down to the gas station, you're just gonna get a Hostess pie. But anyway, he sends me all these things, and they're like interesting. But I eat 75% of them, and the other 25% I'll try, and I'm like, I don't really love that, but I don't know what to do with it because it's rare. So I'm like, I'm not gonna throw away these.
So you put in the decoy
weird
bag.
rare. So they end up in the they end
Decoy
up in the
drawer.
main drawer.
Oh.
So that if the kids open them, they go, oh, I remember trying that. We didn't like it. But then the other stuff goes in the real
That
drawer.
is the decoy drawer.
Well, I guess technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the decoy drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does your wife have a candy drawer secret?
No,
How would you know?
she doesn't keep secrets from me.
She does too. She tells them to me.
No, she does not. Because if she tells you anything, it ends up broadcast and everybody in St. Louis.
Only when she asks me to do it.
What does she text you secrets?
Do you want to broadcast to St. Louis?
What is she texting you?
I have to ask permission to share.
Yes, please do. Although then share them with me off air.
Are you texting right now?
Are you texting her?
Nope.
Anyway, if somebody wants to tell me what to do with this raccoon, I would love it because I thought we had kind of a mutual agreement. The raccoon was kind of cool for a while, and now he's back.
So
Although last night was not him, I have to clear his name.
It was wind.
It was Wind.
So
Wind the raccoon. That's what I'm gonna call him.
So you guys were
spell it with a Y.
You guys were cool.
Windy.
And then you weren't because he didn't live up to his end of the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So now you shouldn't have to live up to your end of the agreement. Get a trap and kill him.
Okay. I
Could
will.
you shoot an animal?
Yeah. Yeah, I could shoot an animal. In
Could you
fact,
shoot this raccoon?
I was just talking with my pastor the other day about having him come over and just
This is a
sit
confession.
and just sit in our sunroom and just wait because we have a little apple tree in our backyard that the deer come and they just kind of eat off of it. I'm like, dude, just sit in my sunroom and wait and just shoot a deer in my
Awesome.
backyard.
Can
That's
I take
not
you up on
legal.
that?
Yeah, please.
That is not legal.
In your own yard?
No,
Not shoot it with a gun, shoot it with an arrow.
that's not legal.
What about poisoning it?
That's probably not legal either.
Poison your own apple tree?
You can't shoot animals in your own yard? What are you, a liberal?
No, I'm just telling you what the law is. It's about discharging firearms within a certain distance of a home.
I think you can shoot an arrow, though.
No.
Depends. Are you shooting the arrow at something else and you just happen to accidentally
run into a
hit
deer?
hit the deer?
that you're feeding from an apple tree?
I was recreationally shooting
field.
this arrow and just happened to miss and hit a deer.
See?
A recreational
Well, listen,
arrow.
to me, the more important law is God's law. And I was talking to the pastor, and he said it was okay. So I think we're going to do
Dominion.
Did he say it was okay, or you were like, come over and shoot the deer out of my backyard, and he's like, that's okay?
Well, we were kind of negotiating the terms, like who got what from the deer once he shot it.
Both involve the word okay. Both mean very different things, Ryan.
He might be listening right now, and I should probably go ahead and preemptively apologize for putting probably 75% of those words in his mouth. Sorry, Pastor David.
You mean apologize or confess?
It's both. It's both. Although we don't have a booth, so this will serve as that.
This will what?
This will serve as that.
Slurve?
Slurve. So anyway.
What did I tell you before we went on air about this segment? Remember
you
how
said
I laid it out?
It needs more substance.
What I said.
How's that going?
The Thursday segment that we open right here in the 2:00 hour, it needs to start with something meaningful for the people, and then it'll eventually go off the tracks. And I always forget to promote. I always forget that Trisha's going to come in for Annie, Are You Okay?, which is very hard-hitting and factually based, straight-laced broadcast journalism. So I need to get some substance in here.
Okay.
You got like 30 seconds. Go.
Have you considered what Iran's been up to?
That's not funny.
It's not supposed to be.
I know. Yes, Donald Trump is taking care of biz.
That's kind of where I was going with
What
this.
were you thinking?
That's what I was going to say, is that Donald Trump is probably going to change our relationship with Iran, because right now it's not that great. I don't love what we've been doing. I think it's called appeasement, is the way I would put it.
Why are you talking like that?
Because this is real now.
No, this is your under the radar trying to sound like I know some things, but everybody can tell that I don't.
That is not true. We are having a real discussion now. And I think that it is up to you to continue it.
You play the music? It is time.
This is going to be a long segment.
Annie, how many times did you look at the clock during that segment?
Not enough. I should have done that a while ago. We're going to have Trisha come get things back on track for Annie, Are You Okay? in the next segment. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Will Joe Biden...
Joe Biden?
Will he pardon himself?
Will Joe Biden?
He can't even pronounce words. Why do I have to? We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Should GLP-1 weight loss medication like Wegovy and Zepbound cost hundreds of dollars? We don't think so. TryLifeMD.com helps provide insurance access to the leading GLP-1 medications. Visit TryLifeMD.com to get your free insurance benefits check and see your eligibility in minutes. Listen to Tara's story after losing 42 pounds.
You just take your shot. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. What I wasn't expecting it to do was to shut off the food noise. I'd gone from 237 to 195. This was life-altering, and if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
Get started right now with your free insurance benefits check and see your eligibility for coverage in minutes at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
It's officially the merry season, and St. Louis's Christmas station 102.5 KEZK is your home for holiday music. Spinning the biggest and best festive tracks all day long, now through Christmas Day. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Get your holiday fix on the radio at 102.5 FM. Ask your smart speaker to play 102.5 KEZK or listen on the go with the free Odyssey app.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Triton Exteriors, specifically my friend Tim Nesbitt, who is the owner
He is from the customer service business, 20 years in the restaurant business. So the answer is yes. What's the question? Anything you need. Hospitality, personal service. We're upscale. We're a James Hardy company. Roofing and siding and gutters and great value. Tim just texted me and he beat the next closest bid by $15,000 just this week. You can call 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The minds and voices that shape America are talking here.
This is Brian Kilmeade. This is Griff Jenkins from Fox News. This is Jimmy Fallon.
Stream it on the Odyssey app.
97.1 FM Talk.
97.1 on the Odyssey app on your phone. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hello, Trisha.
Hello, Annie and crew.
This has been our finest hour of radio.
I've heard a lot of it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's been
well, then you don't
been
believe
really
me.
something.
So management does listen, Ryan.
From time to time.
Not yesterday.
Not yesterday.
Not
We were
yesterday.
actually talking about you guys not listening.
We made
yesterday.
plans yesterday.
Yeah, it was fun.
But
I
with
did
the
miss
people.
that,
With
but
the
I
people.
caught that riveting raccoon bit you just did.
Now
so.
that was good stuff.
That's all on Ryan.
We knew that you guys would be listening to that, and we said, let's bring Material A.
Which was a mystery door.
You also had some important information as to where we heard that story, right?
Yeah, that came from an Annie, are you okay?
How about that?
segment.
Did
What
it?
did?
Yeah, the raccoon story. That lady was overrun by the raccoons. There were like hundreds of them that showed up. She was feeding them, and then Ryan was like, "I had a raccoon," and I yelled, "Ah, raccoon!"
I did. I did. It was. We never even finished the story, but it was 3 a.m.
We're still talking about the raccoon.
We've told this story before.
And I screamed as loud as I could, not on purpose. like,
Nellie thought, "I'll give
suddenly.
him one more chance."
And I never heard anything from the neighbors, so I assumed that they slept through my scream, but they might not have.
I think they hired the raccoon.
We should ask your pastor.
Yeah, Ryan, tell us whatever he didn't say.
What does he say about it?
He said I've been absolved of anything in this hour.
One of every 4 words he
pardoned
says
me
about the pastor are true.
He pardoned me of everything back to 2014.
Oh, yeah, we already played this out here.
I don't know that pastors are in the business of pardons.
Well, I
It's not
asked
really
and he
like
gave.
that.
All right. Did you guys talk about the Mississippi teacher fired after feeding students dog treats?
Yes, boring.
No, we
let's not do that. No, let's not do that one.
No, we didn't. But do you know how many people have sent me this story?
All right. The now former
no.
Calhoun City High School employee allegedly mistook the treats for beef jerky and served them to a class.
She lost her job.
That seems pretty
Yeah,
familiar.
That's amazing.
At least 8 children consumed the treats, and one of the kids had a tummy ache and was taken to the doctor. Annie, are you okay with Ryan teaching high school in Mississippi?
Yes.
What happened to the lady?
She lost her job.
Fired.
That seems extreme to me.
I thought it did, and I thought, should we get involved? Should we advocate for this woman?
Services?
No.
It could happen to anybody.
Listen, there's
If
a
you're
line.
listening, if you're listening and you are not understanding why this is so funny to us, Brad, tell us a story about Ryan's beef jerky.
Well, Ryan.
Venison jerky.
Well, Annie got a
venison
text from her
jerky.
best friend.
Yes.
The
As
one,
I am apt to do.
The one that Ryan says doesn't listen to the show.
Mrs. Wiggins.
Mrs. Wiggins. And she texted Annie and said, ask Ryan about the venison jerky. Well, Ryan.
No, she actually said to me, Ryan ate dog treats and gave some to our son, and if you haven't talked about it on air yet, you should make fun of him for it. That's almost a
factually
direct.
incorrect because I did not eat dog treats. I tasted them. And then went, bleh.
You ate more than we
Those
did.
taste
You
like
ate
they're for a dog.
treat.
It's factually correct that that's what she said to me, though.
Yeah.
Well, she is a liar.
She's your wife.
So Ryan brings in the bag of dog treats that say the Wild Bone Company on them with a dog paw on it.
It just looked very natural.
Said anybody could confuse this for real people jerky because it was in the discount bin.
It was in the people section.
It had
It wasn't in the people section.
It was in the section of food where people
It was in
eat.
a store where people buy things and dogs don't, but it was in the discount aisle where you shop regularly.
It was in the discount aisle and was not marked human.
So Ryan had that bag of dog treats in there. He didn't know Annie knew about it.
Because it wasn't for humans.
It was marked a dog.
He didn't know Annie had that, and he had that bag of dog treats in his office, which he went and got because he was going to, the next day when Annie was off, try to feed me those dog treats.
I love that Brad's version of the story is about you trying to feed him dog food and not the fact that you ate the dog food and didn't realize that it was dog food until it was disgusting.
Well, until we put it in our mouth and went, ooh, that's something wrong with that beef jerky or venison jerky.
What was it, like a week and a half or something after we did this story on the air about you making the mistake? Because wasn't hers a mistake?
Yes, it was a mistake.
She wasn't trying to be some psycho teacher who is
Nope.
like going to transform the youth of America with dog treats.
Nope.
Which is what Ryan was going to try to do to Brad.
The party.
Exactly. I was going to purposely do it to Brad, but then I was going to stop him before he did it.
A little bit ironic that your boss is sharing this story.
I am amazed that this person lost their job. That's terrible. That's
incredible.
I would be mad if I was a parent. I also wouldn't be like, oh, my great teacher for 3rd grade accidentally messed up. Off with her head.
Ryan, really though, you and I are the ones who have school-age children in this room. If your child's teacher accidentally allowed your kid to have jerky that was meant for dogs, not humans, would you call for them to be fired?
No,
like
I would not.
it is outrageous.
It is, especially unless they didn't like the teacher. Like if everybody hated this teacher,
You're like, this is
all
an
right,
easy out.
this is the last one I'm dealing with.
This is what teachers fear.
Yeah.
I saw that and I thought, I don't know. If there's more context, if she's an A+ teacher and she did this one thing, I'm thinking, what are you doing? But
I agree. To me, this is a situation that calls for grace.
No mercy.
Zoo discovers 10-year-old king penguin Maggie is actually Magnus. Scandal rocks.
Look what I found.
Scandal rocks a British zoo after a king penguin who had been living at the facility since 2016 was found to be a male. The penguin, formerly known as Maggie.
I mean, was found.
Look what I found on Maggie.
I don't know if I can do this today.
Can I Google penguin genitalia on this work computer?
Yes, and
I'm wondering how you make this mistake.
This might clear it up. I don't think it's obvious. The penguin, formerly known as Maggie.
It's okay, though. It happens to everybody.
had a feather sent for DNA testing after keepers noticed the penguin unsuccessfully attempting to initiate mating with a male penguin.
Wait a minute.
This is so
Wait
backwards.
a minute.
I'm so confused.
Isn't that known behavior in penguin communities?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The male penguin's name was Frank.
What's Maggie doing to Frank? What the? These zookeepers going.
That wouldn't be.
You're going. What? Do my eyes deceive me?
Just for the record, for the radio listeners, your ear was you wiping your eyes to get them more clear.
No, that's what you do. That's the universal sound effect for eye wiping.
There was no. We are talking about penguin relations.
Not Frank.
Yeah. Oh God.
So
did you read this whole story before you came in here?
Yeah. I've read it like 3 times and it gets me every time.
You're handling this like this is brand new information.
Well, Maggie put the
Somebody's screaming like it's the Hindenburg. Oh, the humanity! Look at what she's doing to Frank. Oh, we gotta check out Maggie now.
But it was Magnus the whole time.
They just changed his name.
I'm so
Maggie's
sorry,
like,
you
what
guys.
the heck are they calling me now?
Annie, are you okay with ice skating? Everybody likes penguins, right?
Yeah, I just don't really like being that cold for that long. I feel like ice skating is one of those things where you can bundle up, but your feet are always cold. I hate when my feet are cold. So
you got nothing, Ryan?
She just answered it real.
What do you want me to say? What could I add to this conversation?
I thought you were going to say something about Frank.
Can you ice skate?
Yeah, I can ice skate.
Can you ice skate?
Yeah.
Can you ice skate, Ethan?
Yeah.
Trisha? Meh.
I
haven't
can't
done
do
it in
a
long time.
triple axel. I can do a double.
Backwards,
yeah.
I need to see
Upside
that.
down.
Okay.
I was doing a double axel, and then I said, "Oh God, what are they doing to Frank?"
I can't. I'm
For
not
whatever
sleeping
reason now,
enough.
I'm picturing multiple penguins just going after Frank. And the zookeeper's like, "Oh God, I've never seen this. This isn't normal behavior even for penguins, let alone that one's a woman."
I just love that the part where Trisha absolutely lost it was just, and his
nailed
name
it.
was Frank.
I am so sorry.
This is a very serious establishment, Trisha.
I know. And
Keep
you,
it
and you
on the
promote
rails.
this as straight news, and
Yes.
that's what you're going to get, right?
The last
now.
segment was about Iran.
I know.
And now here, what are we doing now?
The last
Women's-
segment was not about. It was about I ran from a raccoon.
It was about the song "I Ran" by Flock of Seagulls.
That makes me think of penguins.
What was that girl seagull doing to that Frank seagull?
Poor Frank.
I don't know, but then there's a big conversation with the zookeepers. Why do we call all the animals Frank?
I can't. I can't. Okay. Woman steals car, then writes about it in her diary.
That's what I would do.
A Minnesota woman was flagged for scrapping a stolen vehicle when police arrived at her house. To investigate, she said she had no idea the car was stolen. But they found her diary with an entry that read, quote, "I totally stole a car today. Something I never thought of doing."
Now that is straight news right there, folks.
I just got a text message from someone who I'm waiting to tell me if I can say who it is, but the text just says,
Uh-oh.
read that. Ethan.
She's keeling over.
Don't say the name. Don't say the name. Just read that top text out loud. Don't say the name.
Yep. Some days you're Magnus. Some days you're Frank.
Poor Frank.
Sponsor the show, but I won't divulge you.
I told you it was a scandal.
I bet some days Frank feels like a Magnus. And then yet that day, he found himself on the wrong end of a Maggie stick.
Annie, are you okay with journaling?
Has a lot to do with feelings.
Yeah, I know.
Not so much.
You got a lot of time. Dear diary.
I regularly think like I should delete everything that I've ever done digitally and just start fresh. Like, it should be like a routine habit that you have in the year. Everything you've got, delete it, start fresh, resubscribe to the things that you want to subscribe to, get rid of the things and close the accounts, just so that you're not leaving this forever trail. Like, do you, when you send text messages, when you send emails, do you ever think, like, this could be context in a court case or in a situation in the future? Do you ever think that?
No, never.
Never?
No, I hang on to everything as far as texts and emails go, because I think, what if I need some little piece of information? And I think it's because of what we do in the broader context of guest booking and needing to find contact information. But you're right. If I'm going to
even
court,
like
I'm in
if you're
trouble.
sending an email reply and it's kind of got a little snark in it or something like that, and then it's not even like if you, Trisha, get in trouble. What if Ryan Wiggins gets in trouble and now there's an exchange between the two of you, and now your conversation is brought in? Like, I am so particular about how I send things, but then there's also your personal communications and how that could be dived into and researched through. And it's just like, I think in the future, everything that we have ever done online is going to be up and fair game.
For me, it's the guys group chats where you're like,
Oh.
you're just in them, and you're like, someday even just being a part of this group and not having anything to
You're
do
an
with it
accomplice.
is gonna
receive-
get me in trouble.
You receive a message, you're like, I can't run for office now.
It's like, well, that's on my phone now.
There are multiple times where the four of us here, Ethan and Ryan and Brad and myself, have kind of like a show chat, and we'll share a story that's like wild. It's stuff that we know you listening to the show would be very entertained by, but I'm not covering it.
Nope.
Because this is a classy establishment, as you can tell right now, Maggie and Magnus. That I'm not going to
Poor Frank.
report on a certain type of story, but we're tee-heeing in the background because it's funny or ridiculous or whatever. I don't want now someone's going to hack into my stuff. Crap.
They should.
It was a good run.
Thank you. Yes, you're involved. You're totally complicit.
Oh, I know that, though. I'm already out there.
Do any of you in here journal in any way, shape, or form?
No, but I think we should, instead of doing this typical conservative talk show format, we should do it Doogie Howser style, where every episode of the Andy Fry Show starts with you journaling. Dear Diary, today I think we're probably going to talk about the Joe Biden pardon.
I never know what we're going to talk about.
Why is it in that voice?
Because that's what Doogie did.
Do you know what Doogie Howser is? There you go.
Well, go check that show out.
I was like, I have no idea
What's
that
his
is.
name?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Do you know who Neil Patrick Harris is?
I do.
He broke onto the scene as was he like 12 or 13?
Yeah, he was a young
phenom doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he was Dr. Doogie Howser as a 12 or 13-year-old kid. That is how he got his start in
Got it.
the business.
Okay.
It was a big TV show. I don't journal.
Okay. And one more follow-up to, I think that was last week, the cryptocurrency entrepreneur who bought that banana art for $6.2 million ate it. Chinese-born Justin's son peeled off the duct tape and enjoyed the banana in a press conference held last Friday in Hong Kong. He is quoted as saying, "It tastes much better than other bananas, indeed quite good." $6.2 million banana. Annie, are you okay with bananas?
Yes, I love them. Great source of potassium and vitamin something. else. I don't know. I ate one.
Potassium.
Vitamin
Potassium.
K. Yeah.
Isn't that potassium?
Yeah.
I think I was going to say potassium and
Vitamin
K, and I was like, I think this is the same thing.
Good save.
Not like you guys are disappointed in me now for saying that, but I like them. I like bananas and I like berries. Don't like melons. Anybody in here a big melon guy?
Yeah, I think all three of us are.
Before even
Why do you
heard
boys
it,
raise your
Ryan's
hands? Do you like them?
Melon?
You love melons.
Love melons.
Me too. It seems to me
He says.
that, and this is kind of a wild take, but I think that guy wasted that money on that art.
That is a hot take. Most of the internet says this was a good purchase, investment.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, that's why you tune into the Annie Fry Show. You hear kind of the other side of the story.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Clint Black in concert. Clint Black, an incredible night featuring some of his greatest hits. Saturday, April 12th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. Clint Black in concert. Special guests Ruby Lee and Emily Ann Roberts. On sale Friday, 10 a.m. at the Carroll House Furniture Box Office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Clint Black.
It's time to raise a little hell. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Saturday, March 1st, the Family Arena. With special guests, Molly Hatchet and the Georgia Satellites. This is the farewell tour of the Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
And keep your hands to yourself.
Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture Box Office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Mother's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. We have Ox Car Care for their extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if anything happens. We have no worries if any problems come up on our holiday travels. Ox Car Care has our back.
I remember. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Yep, we don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them directly, and there's no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated, with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Right. They handled our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill this holiday. The only thing now is, which pie is Aunt Martha making?
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-296-3315. 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
This is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy property as is. Do you have a property that is vacant? Maybe it's been sitting empty for years. Maybe it's been sitting empty for a month. Well, we're interested in buying vacant properties. If you have a property sitting vacant, you're at risk of damage. You're paying insurance. You're paying taxes while it is not being utilized. We are interested in making you an as-is cash offer, and we can close on your timeline. Please reach out, KLAMEN Group.com.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Just among the serious discussions we were having this hour, one of them is, will Joe Biden pardon himself, yes or no? A lot of comments on this. We'll be giving the results here within 8 minutes or so by the end of the show. YouTube live chat poll, you find it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Yes or no, will Joe Biden pardon himself? 246. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Good afternoon. It's Mark Reardon getting set to go here on a Thursday. We have Sean Spicer in the first hour coming up at 3:25. That'll be good. Haven't caught up with him in a while. Sue's News in the 4 o'clock hour. John Seiler on the University of Michigan ending diversity statements at 5:25.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
walks merrily down the street with the big pool way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Love to be able to walk through this holiday season with you. And boy, is it nicer to be able to do that when we know that the news, as it continues to come, that we are close. Hold on, The View. I'm not ready for you yet. That we're so much closer to Donald Trump becoming the president. He's 46 days away, and Donald Trump is going to be here. And we got to squeeze Christmas in it. In the middle of all of that, 20 days from Christmas, and we will be ready ready to cover all of that news in 2025 for you. I'm really excited about it, and I feel like we have an idea, like a framework of how this is going to go, but the fact that there is a fully Republican Congress behind what Donald Trump wants to do, there's going to be a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of people losing their minds over the action that's going to take place, but it's exciting to see that the Republicans are going to have the opportunity to get stuff done and prove that their policies are better and not just the slap fight that we've been watching for so long on the national stage. The View, I've paid more attention to The View in the last, month, I guess. It's been about a month since the election day, December 5th today, November 5th, the election day. We joked earlier about Sonny Hostin and the constant need to read these disclaimers. Charlemagne the God, which is like, he's such a... he's somebody who gets pulled into political conversations, but it only really seems like it ever happens during the election season. And then he kind of goes into hibernation until the next election comes around. He was on The View.
Now that Trump has won, you say that you don't think cable news will ever truly cover him honestly again. Why?
Well, not even just cable news, no network. Nobody, because they didn't do it before, so why would they do it now? They're scared to death.
What
He's the
about
president of the United States of America.
Have you watched The View? Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Sonny, I saw you have to apologize a couple times last week, so somebody's coming with some notes from downstairs.
I'm not apologizing.
Okay.
I'm making a legal note as an attorney of law.
Because you know we have a petty president, incoming,
yes,
that is going to be very litigious.
Who is litigious, but that doesn't mean that's not a mistake.
We check ourselves. What does not normalizing?
So when you listen to The View talking about, the future of what this is going to look like when Donald Trump is the president, they're literally sitting there with Charlemagne the God, quoting him as somebody who's saying, like, they're never going to cover this guy fairly. They didn't do it before. They're not going to start doing it now. They're never going to cover him fairly. And the ladies on The View are all like, but what about us? You're the worst. You're the absolute set the bar for the most psychotic Trump derangement syndrome lunatics that are out there. It's like your fantasy to get on the air and complain about something that Donald Trump did to hurt your little feelings every single day. And you don't care about facts, which is why you have to read your legal disclaimers and legal notes, is because you say dumb crap all the time and you have to correct it because you don't care about facts until you're legally forced to make them.
What's so shocking about that clip is that they think they're covering him fairly.
Yes, it's outrageous.
What?
What about us?
There was reason right after the election that everyone the next morning said, can't wait to tune into The View.
Yes.
It's for the reaction.
And the equal interesting fact, nobody knew what time it was actually on the air.
That also. Except for Ryan Wiggins, their biggest fan.
Well, that's the day I learned.
That's why I asked.
Oh, that day? Okay.
Ryan Wiggins. Oh,
yeah.
You've known just since then.
On November 6th, I learned that The View is on at 10.
Now, misery loves company. If Donald Trump is successful in his Donald Trump way, that will be a disaster for these women of The View. Maybe they'll consolidate a partition of people out there that want to hear whatever it is that they have to offer every day. I am not one of those people. I've been one of those people on an incredibly rare occasion, the day after the election being one of them. Can they stay this way? Will they have to change the way they present information, the way they talk to their viewers? Will they have to adjust? Or will they double, triple down?
They will have to adjust, but not because they want to or they have some sort of integrity or some sort of light bulb moment. They will not have an epiphany that changes their minds, collectively especially, let alone individually. They will have their bosses get involved. We've already seen that's why they keep reading all these disclaimers. So the people who run ABC, my guess is that they're going to get involved at some point, maybe even with a heavier hand than they already are, and say, look, something has to change here.
What do you think?
Oh, I don't think they'll change at all. I think they're gonna continue on what they're doing right now. It'll be Sonny and Joy, ironically named, making outrageous claims and all that other stuff, and then right before they go to break, they'll have to make another legal note, and it'll just become a thing on the show. It's already starting to become a thing, so it'll become part of the show as Sonny says a legal note about the stuff that we lied about.
I don't understand how money is being made here, but to me, it's like some of these entities are going to survive, and they're going to flourish. But I don't think, when we call it the mainstream media, it hasn't been mainstream for a long time. People don't watch it. What was it? What did I retweeted it? Who got 38,000 views
MSNBC.
in a week?
MSNBC, the network.
In a week?
In a week.
38,000 people.
Got less listeners, viewers than I think some of our weekend programming does. That's a nationwide network. We're on in St. Louis.
It's crazy. And it's... There's two parts to it. There's our view of what they offer, which is to say they're lying, they lost, they're deceivers, and they're completely in the bag for the leftists that are out there politically. But there's also it's also true that there are people who don't want to tune in and listen to bad news every day. Because if you really wanted to see Kamala Harris win, if you really did not want to see Donald Trump win, then you're not going to tune in and listen to how he lost every day over and over and over again. Keenly aware of that here on 97.1 in the Annie Fry Show. If Donald Trump would have lost, I was preparing mentally for what that was going to be and what I was going to have to do in that climate. And thank the Lord in heaven, I don't have to worry about that. Also, for the future of the country and my family, but also my professional career.
That sounded like a legal disclaimer.
No, not at all. I have no legalese about me. The YouTube live chat poll, will Joe Biden pardon himself? Yes or no? Ryan, you said?
No.
No, I'm a yes.
Brad says yes. Ethan, you got a thought on this?
Yeah, I'm a no.
You don't think he will?
I do not think he will.
I am of the mind that this is going to go one way or the other. Pretty soon, like the pardon's going to become a joke. Or Hunter's going to be where it ends. I mean, like, if you think about the people who Donald Trump pardoned, they're not people who in some cases, you might have maybe heard the names, but probably only because, like, the Kim Kardashians of the world were making a campaign to try to get people, clemency or something like that. So there are always pardons, but the pardons are supposed to be for the people. And if you're in the bureaucracy or if you are in the system and the president is pardoning you, then there is an admission of crime that was committed that you would need a pardon to cover. Officer Gary said, would Joe pardon himself? Does a bear sit in the woods? I don't know. I don't know how much bears sit. Wolf said, no, he won't because they have already said he is incompetent to stand trial once. I don't think you need to stand trial if you're being pardoned. You just need to sit there and say thank you, self. And Erica says, I can't see why he wouldn't pardon himself. He's a corrupt politician who has likely committed treason. All right. Ethan, you want to give us the results of today's poll?
289 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Will Joe Biden pardon himself? 74% say yes and 26% say no.
74% think he will.
Wow.
And if he does, man, the floodgates are open for when Donald Trump gets in there.
Yeah.
It's like the clean slate. It's the clean slate that Natasha wants in Marvel. Isn't that what she's seeking? Isn't what's her face always?
Ledger. I've got red in my ledger.
Yeah.
Looking to wipe it out.
That's what she keeps saying. I don't know. Stick around. The Mark Reardon Show is going to be up next. Thank you for voting in the poll. Check out the podcast at anniefryshow.com/podcast or anywhere you get your podcast from. But keep it streaming right here on 97.1. Mark Reardon, next.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with True Hold, Sell and Stay Leaseback Program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to Truehold while the value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay in your home as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a Truehold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-1993. Or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. Truehold.com.
New holiday deals just dropped at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off select major appliances, plus an additional $75 off for every $1,000 you spend on select kitchen major appliances from brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Amana, and Maytag. And don't miss big savings on DeWalt. Save $80 on a DeWalt 20-volt max 2-tool combo kit. Was $229, now just $149. Lowe's knows deals. Offers valid 12/5 through 12/11. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items. While supplies last.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
The 28th Winter Warm-Up is coming to Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village January 18th through the 20th. The event features 3 days full of non-stop Cardinals family-friendly fun, including tours of the Cardinals clubhouse, admission to the world-class Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum, plus access to the Cardinals Care Store, autographs, auctions, and an exhibit hall full of sports memorabilia and more. Tickets are on sale now. Proceeds benefit Cardinals Care and its mission to care for kids in the community. Find more details at cardinals.com/WWU.
Be one of the first fans to catch the start of a brand new Cardinals season at Spring Training 2025. Cardinals Vacations makes it easy for you to get to warm, sunny Florida by being your one-stop shop for spring training travel. You'll receive hotel accommodations, great game tickets, an exclusive dinner at the ballpark with select Cardinals personnel, and much more. Make your plans right now. Call Cardinals Vacations at 800-892-7687 or go online to cardinals.com/vacations.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
He calls it a redemption story.